Good morning. Today, if you woke up anywhere in the world, the headlines have been tough. And I just want to say it's weighing on me a lot. For those of you who don't know, my father is retired military. Stacy's a veteran. A lot of you, we have an international audience. Okay. So the Future Fiction Academy is global. One thing my father always taught me is that the person who prays most for peace are the soldiers. So I just wanted to extend a heartfelt empathy and sympathy and thoughts and good vibes for anybody who is in danger this morning, for anybody who has loved ones who are in danger this morning, anyone who's feeling uncertainty about our world. It's hard. So know that I have felt it too. I'm not going to let that stop me from doing my work this morning. I have fantasy worlds I have to create. So we're going to try to find the good this morning. But if you are watching this and you are heavy, know that some of us are also heavy too. So the song today is going to be Story Physics, just because I need, and I think other people need, just a little bit of brightness. So here you guys go.
Soft breeze in the cold, let the pathways unfold. Quiet little rules, guiding stories untold. No push, let it breathe, let the arcs interweave. Keep the engine on low, watch the world take lead. Rotation too, calm lines in the loop. Let the framework align, every gentle pulse sets the beat in its time. Just drift, let it form, let the pattern stay warm. Keep the engine on low, let the tail find its norm. Rotation 3, cool hum in the flow, let the logic awake. Tiny shifting laws, shaping choices we make. No force, let it glide, let the tensions divide. Keep the engine on low, watch the story decide. Norm.
Okay, I needed that this morning. I needed some brightness. Hopefully I didn't speak out of turn or anything like that. I know Stacy, I was like, and Stacy's a veteran, but like, it's just, yeah.
No, I'm very open the fact I'm a veteran, and yeah, often it is the soldiers for sure that are, and often it is the soldiers, people on the ground in the hazardous zones.
Yeah, who pray for peace the most. So hopefully we can get this resolved as peaceful as possible, as quickly as possible. So, okay. Yeah. It's a day. It's a day. In other happy news, Charlotte Claire got married. There is that echo. I am. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't know if it's me, you.
Is that, Dan? Let me see if I unplugged my speakers to see if that fixes it better. Okay, but yeah, Charlotte Claire got married. He and Alexandra got married. They're so cute. It was the pictures of them in their little Ferrari convertible, like an old one, and she's in her gown and everything like that. So, so yeah, Susan does say what we do is important in dark times. People need the distraction and the escape. So, yeah, it is important. It is important. So Stacy, how are you?
Good. I am actually still in my pajamas.
So am I. I threw on a sweatshirt to change from last night's sweatshirt. I got my coffee.
I already drank my coffee, so I'm up to water now.
I know it's backwards, but it says we can do this coffee.
It's
Danny, how about you? You got your coffee?
Oh, I got iced tea. I don't drink.
You have iced tea. Oh, you are so Tennessee. Oh, what do we do in the morning in Tennessee? Well, we have sweet tea. That's what we do. Oh, my coffee is not as warm as it should be, but that's okay. I can deal with it. Susan says, ain't nothing wrong showing up to an early morning Zoom. So yeah. Like the live if you're also still in your pajamas or wish you were. So yeah, like the live. That's a good thing. No, there's still an echo. Somebody's got an echo.
Hold on. Oh, right, I think it might be Dan because I just muted him.
Okay, so Danny has muted, and we'll see if he can get that solved. Okay. I woke up this morning so insecure about last night's live. This is so funny. Thinking I was so mad at myself that I didn't get as far as I wanted to last night. That I didn't get. I know this is madness, right? And that's what we're talking about this morning.
I remember when I had days where I got a couple hundred words, and that was magic. Like I would track them, the number of pomodoros, and 600 words was like a wow day, or at least a pretty good day. Now,
pretty good day, indeed. So yeah, I this morning I was off. I was running late and everything like that. First of all, I'll be honest with you. I don't start work this early ever. I'm usually a 10 o'clocker as at the earliest that I get going. And there's a reason, because I was on till 11:30 midnight last night. So like I purposely don't start my day usually, because I'm East Coast, until about mid-morning, because I often want to make sure I'm available for other people in other parts of the world and everything like that. So I'm a little discombobulated. But that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, but we did that on purpose, so the people that couldn't make Friday night could make possibly Saturday morning. I know we have a lot of international,
yes,
the poor Australians that I never know what time it is over there.
We never.
I figure maybe this is a little easier for them, or Europe is off and running. Asia is
doing Asia things.
Yeah.
I think it is evening. It would be 9 o'clock in the evening, or it's usually like 12 hours ahead.
Yeah.
Or what have you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Danny?
I said the whole time thing confuses me.
Yeah. Time math is not my strength. That is for sure. That is for sure. Okay. Is anyone else now getting ads on live? Okay, so we do have ads turned on for the lives, and let's talk about this, because if I don't have it turned on, guess what? They're going to do ads anyway, and they're going to keep those dollars. So we do keep ads turned on here. If you don't want to see ads on YouTube, the best thing for you to do is to purchase the YouTube. I think it's like $10 a month or something like that. Is that right, Stace?
I pay like $12, but I have the family plan because my kids.
Right.
The less ads they see, not as like a helicopter mom, but then the less things they're pestering me about, especially my youngest. Then he has like weird questions about just.
Yeah. The lives have actually always had ads. They have always had ads. They've always had interstitial ads. Sometimes when we first were starting them up, they did not have the ads right away or anything like that, but they would always add them later. And I think YouTube has now improved putting ads into the middle. Improved. Don't you feel improved?
I feel the improved experience.
Yep. Okay. I'm going to just mute you, Danny, unless you need to speak, because it's still giving interference. I know. I'm so sorry, sir.
I know.
It's like, I don't know. Okay. Your notes are the same notes as last night. We're just going to continue. So let's go over a little bit of the housekeeping things, because I know that Stacy has taken over. Let's see here. Oh, Plumstone says, I don't mind ads if it helps your cash flow. Yes, every penny that YouTube pays us goes back to the staff. Like it goes into helping us being able to cover everybody's payments and things. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Narrative physics. So yeah, narrative physics is where it all started, and that's story physics. Again, we would love to have you in our cutting edge AI writing community. I think we're pretty cool. I don't know. What do you think, Stace?
I think so too. Like I have to say, when we first started, it was me, you, and Steph, like in the Discord, answering the questions, doing all that. Like, frankly, there are probably new members who have no idea who I am or who Steph is sometimes. We're doing a lot behind the scenes sort of thing, but we have it has just taken off. We have Alyssa constantly in there and Lynn, and I'm not in there enough, but I know like the Ink and Code guys are just Carlo and Kim, or Kim and Carlo and Jen BB. There are so many people. I don't even want to start calling people out because I'll leave people out. But they are just doing their own thing. Not their own thing, but they are like, they're saying, I'm interested in this part of writing with AI. And so I will design how the Future Fiction Academy is going to, like, I will contribute. And
I agree. Our community, our staff, like, we are defining the future for us as much as we possibly can by getting involved.
Yeah.
So
it is just it is a snowball of its own design. Like, if the 3 of us left or the 4 of us left, I think it would just keep going on its own for a while.
Yes, it would. It would. I'm proud of the community. I think we have hit that point where the FFA may have started more as a cult of personality. I think it has graduated to where you guys own the community. You guys own this. This is yours. You know, you're the ones driving the boat. I'm not even able to stay connected on every single thing. It's like, EAW, did you try this? I'm like, no, I don't have the bandwidth. I have to be good where I am. I do still challenge myself to learn new things. Don't get me wrong. If you saw my YouTube list, I have a never-ending list of videos and stuff where I'm learning new stuff that I can then synthesize and bring to you all. But I think that there's a lot of people now in the FFA who are doing that. Stacey, you always stay up on the latest stuff in Notion.
I try to. So I have a class which should have been done already, but will definitely be done to be put out in March.
Sneak peek. Okay, so our specials this weekend. This is your class that we have a special deal on.
Oh, yes.
I'm so glad you're here, because last night I kept saying, like, and if you want to know more about this, like, I open sourced the prompts last night for Narrative Physics Engine, the generic one. When you did the Exploring the Narrative Physics Engine class, how did you talk to people about how they could kind of change it to their personal needs?
I tried to. Like, that's what I tried to always do with classes now. Like, I will give you what I did in class, but I never say, like, here's the prompt to do Narrative Physics Engine, or here's the prompt to do this. Here's a starting point to get you exploring. So you don't have to start from zero like we did and put it all together, but start from here. And how can I adjust this to a cozy mystery, a cozy horror, which is a thing now, apparently.
It is totally a thing. It is a thing.
Yeah, we've talked about that. But so how you take it. And I always say, like, this is what I'm doing now, but I have my own preferences. If I do it, doesn't mean Elizabeth's doing it, doesn't mean Kim's doing it, doesn't mean anybody else is doing it. So experiment for yourself, but also models change. Like, oh my Lord, once thinking models came out, that redid a lot of my workflow, all of our workflows, I know. So something else, I don't even want to know what's going to come next, but something else will come out. And that doesn't mean the narrative fiction engine is obsolete any more than my short story class is obsolete. It just means you have to experiment a little more and keep up with it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the 25% discount saves roughly about $50 with the YFD code. So that is an opportunity. And when does that code expire? I was off on that.
I wasn't sure if you wanted it at the end of the weekend or the end of the week, so I did it at the end of the week. So
okay, perfect. So end of the week.
Yep, you have till next Friday's live, essentially.
Perfect. All right, it is the final week to get the intensives. Now, Danny, I don't know if you're able to unmute a little bit, but Danny, you are already, I saw you in Harper's already talking. How excited are you about these intensives?
I'm excited because, romance has never really been my thing, but I said, well, I do like a good love story. I mean, I've
I
watched.
was like, have you ever been in love, Danny?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So like, I mean, my wife and I have been married. We're almost coming September, we'll be 30 years. So.
Wow! Congratulations. 30 years. That's amazing. Making all of us all sappy over here, Danny.
And that's what a lot of the people I found that I don't like romance or something like that often have a preconceived notion of one type of romance. Like maybe I don't like the Hallmark style romances. Okay, there
I
are
don't
plenty
either.
other. Yeah. I don't know, maybe around Christmas or something, but the rest of the year. Or I don't like the super high steam, or I don't like low steam, or something like that. That doesn't mean you don't like romance. You just haven't been broadly experienced enough of it. Usually people that don't like romance just haven't found their flavor of it.
If you were rooting for Princess Leia and I have a space pirate in my head, Han Solo. If you were rooting for Princess Leia and Han Solo at any time when you were watching Star Wars, congratulations, you like romance. I was not rooting for Princess Leia and her brother Luke. That's ick.
Yeah, no. It just had that vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's ick. So yeah, we have the intensive March and April. They are not included in the mastermind. These are special trainings that are more in depth. But I folded like a chair. I did tell the after party last night about what's coming. I didn't want to, but it hit me. I don't know what is wrong with me, but
we all knew it. Like, bless your
heart. I know you knew it. But all I'm going to say is that we do have some very exciting things planned ahead for the summer for the Future Fiction Academy membership. That it won't replace the intensives, but it will be something that helps supplement it. Skewlight said that they totally twisted my arm. It was uncomfortable. Okay, it was very uncomfortable. It was the mics.
If you hadn't brought up that I have a secret.
I know. Okay, I will tell because there's people here who haven't gotten it. It's the last weekend for the intensives anyway.
Level of arm twisting they did.
It is. It's honestly, I just feel bad. I feel bad if people don't know. It's Susan's fault. She said, "Dang it, that's what I get." I'll put the note on here. She says, "Dang it, that's what I get for being tired and going to bed." Do you know that immediately triggers my responsibility? And I'm like, oh no, it's not fair that some people know and she does not know. That's literally where my brain goes. Okay. We just have some very excited collaborative projects that are coming up that are going to be open for FFA members to participate in, and they are fiction-based. So we will have more details about that as it's coming out. But if you are just joining the Future Fiction Academy, my recommendation is jump right into the accelerator and get to learn as much as you can, because we have some very exciting things where you'll be able to work in kind of a shared world freely, and as a group we will work together to that we will be able to work together as a group for promotion and cross promotion and everything like that. But this is not a case where the press is going to publish your books, you publish your books. So it's really kind of like a way to have, it's like I have a practicum, like we're going to have practicum sessions and again, right, Stace?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of like it's a combination of the practicums and the old boot camps we had. Mm-hmm. Like with those challenges, the axolotls.
Yes.
And the
axolotl accounting.
There we go.
Just goes to show you what branding does, because no one would remember accounting if it hadn't had axolotl on it.
I still don't remember accounting. I just remember.
No, you just remember the axolotl. Okay, we have a great discussion about the field trip last night. You mentioned enabling sharing in OpenAI for free tokens. If I want to use the free daily use tokens in Raptorite, where do I add my OpenAI key? Aren't we only able to use an Open Router API key? Do either of you want to field this question?
You can add your OpenAI key to Open Router. Mm-hmm. We can grab you the link on like the exact page to do it on. But essentially you can tell Open Router, like this is something they've been doing for a little while, and I think it's frankly awesome, that you can add your OpenAI key and say whenever an OpenAI request comes through Open Router, use my OpenAI key. That allows you to use, not real, but you can use your free tokens if you have credits already built up, if you just wanna, I don't know. But
so I'm going to share this tab instead. I got it pulled up. Perfect. So basically, yeah, Open Router has a bring your own key feature. So this is my Open Router. And what you will do is you go into your settings on this left-hand side, and then it says BYOK right here on the left-hand side. And once you click on BYOK, you'll see that I have my personal OpenAI key here. So if I had a key for Claude, for example, all you have to do where Anthropic is I would click this little button. I would put in my Anthropic Claude, my Claude key. And then I would enable it or always use for this provider. And then it also has which ones are supported. So it's really, you're basically just, it's kind of like telephone, basically. You're having Open Router call your people, have your people call my people kind of a situation. So you have an OpenAI key, you put the OpenAI key into Open Router so that when Raptorite or YFD makes a call to Open Router on your account, it says, oh, wait a minute, we need to call long distance. We're going to call to OpenAI and get the information from them on your key. And the benefits of doing that is, and Blood Princess added the information to at the bottom of the notes as well. Thank you, Blood Princess. Yep. You're the best, Alyssa.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to do to foster relationships with these main providers. Like, what are some of the benefits, Stacy or Danny, if you're using the API key at OpenAI or Claude or something? What are some of the things that we're still experiencing today as benefits for that?
Clear, because I found that Open Router tends to add something in there, like because the response I get back from a normal, from Claude's API versus Open Router directly, it's slightly different. It's like they're adding something in there.
Either they're adding something in there, or it's possible that Claude is trying to tailor the response based off of the key that's making the call. Like the account that's making the call. So like Open Router is a much bigger account than us individually. I could see that happening too, because I don't know if Open Router puts stuff in there, but it's possible.
Also, I found, I just lost my thought. It's coming back. But when we do it through, I found a lot of our prompts our old prompts, like the wording, our style, now is slowly getting integrated into how the new models automatically work. So the more we work in creating good fiction, the better the foundational models are now at creating good fiction. They're either learning from our style, our prompts, because us and our community are very, I'm not saying we're the only ones, but we're very
but like Novel Crafter is big on Open Router. Pseudowrite is a big organization too, making all these calls. So like there are fiction, like as a lobby of fiction writers, we are all sending, stuff to these things. But the other thing that you get when you go directly, go ahead, I'm sorry.
The dashboards too. So you could see not only who is using each one, but you could see your usage by, you can break it down. And if you have different keys for different pen names or projects, or I don't know if you want to share your screen with some of your usages, but you get just all the much more detailed reports than you do with the foundational models. And
you mean with Open Router? I'm asking like, what's the benefit? Here, I'll just answer. The benefit of not just using Open Router, but using like OpenAI or Anthropic through Open Router, you get cool free shit. You also get early access to models. So if you are using the API key on OpenAI, do you know that I got early access to Code Interpreter, which is now something completely different. I got early access to models. Like we were all chomping at the bit, I think, for 01 and 03. And like, so depending on what your tier is in your usage, how old your account is, how much money you have spent with like OpenAI or Anthropic, that dictates how many calls, how much you're allowed to use in a day. It can also dictate your access to new or experimental models. Or in the case of OpenAI, they give you free tokens. So now there is an exchange for that. You do have to share your prompting with OpenAI to get those free tokens. But we went over that last night so that you can get 250,000 to 1 million free tokens a day. And so thank you, Delilah, for the question. The way to bring it into RaptorWrite is to port it through your Open Router key. That's why the new RaptorWrite is not like the old RaptorWrite where we had all those spots for you to put your keys in. We're just like, we simplified it, and it was like everybody who's anybody can port their stuff through Open Router, and that way it's one key to rule them all. So sorry, but good job. But yeah, those are all good things. Like when you use your API key, you have more control over the raw prompting that goes in, what Danny was saying. And as Stacey was saying too, when you use your own API key, it knows your account. It knows what you're trying to do. So, because it's all keeping memory. Okay. Sorry for the field trip, guys. Oh, I'm so tired this morning. I'm trying to be happy. I'm really trying to be happy. Okay, so real fast, some changes you need to know. We went over this last night. We are in transition. You can read this. You guys are all smart people. You can purchase. You have 3 months to make final token purchases. You have over a year to use them. That's the too long did not read. All right. And then I'm going to go over this stuff right here real fast. But Elizabeth, I have free tokens. Use them. They were expiring in 90 days anyway. But Elizabeth, why can't we just keep buying tokens? Because we're not doing that. So I'm not going to rehash all this because we did that last night. We're going to get into work. But just so you guys know, it is all in your notes. So let's go ahead and pick up where we left off. So we were doing the Irish Castle. And I am going to open up first draft, your first draft. We're just going to get back started with the Cursed Castles. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. I'm going to bump us down to the bottom. I might just take us off in just a minute. So this is the cool thing. I am going to take us off, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is the really cool thing about... oh, there's questions here. Okay, hold on. I'll bring us back. When generating a key in Open Router, make sure you click the BYOK option to have it use your OpenAI keys. Yes, when you create a key, you have to enable it that it can use that. Bring your own key. TreeStar said, so should we have separate keys per pen name and switch the OpenAI key we attach to Open Router when if? You can, but you also can just do it at the Open Router level. So let me show you that. That's the easier kind of way to do it.
And of course, you don't have to. This is just if you want different reporting on how much costs are different or usage or anything for your different pen names. You can absolutely just use one for all of it. Mm-hmm. That's fine as well.
Delilah says, my OpenAI and Open Router is grayed out and doesn't allow me to toggle on the always use this provider. Is there someone I can email to help me walk through this? You should have to put the key in. So we'll just do this real fast. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. So if I'm doing Anthropic, hold on a minute here. I'm gonna remove that. Hold on. I'm gonna go grab a Anthropic key real fast. So give me a second. So I'll show you guys how this works. Talks amongst yourself. Chickpea. Neither a chick nor a pea. Discuss.
That sketch used to hit home because I grew up in Long Island and I watched it. I'm like, what's funny about that? Like her accent's normal, and that's what people say.
Her accent's normal. What's wrong?
Yeah. Her accent's normal, and that's what people say. They do get verklempt.
They do get verklempt. Okay, I have an old key, and now I need to make sure I go back to the notes so I don't show everybody the keys. I am the worst at that. I'm like, oh yeah, here's all of our passwords. Have at them. Be my guest. Be my guest.
Yeah, I can't say how many times we've had to change all of our passwords.
It's only been like twice.
We've had to do it more because of other people as well. So
yes, that's true. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to bring your own key. Here, I'm going to go all the way back to Open Router. So I'm going to be like, okay, we're on Open Router, guys. I have 2 accounts. I have the Future Fiction Academy account, obviously, and then I have my personal account. I'm going to work in my personal account because that's more similar to what you guys have. And then what you do is you just click on your face in the top right, and you're going to click Settings. And once you do that, I will zoom back in a little bit here to make it easier to see that. You are going to, you can make sure that you're allowed, like all your different settings are here, but you won't go to API keys. You'll go to BYOK. And once you're there, I'm going to go to Anthropic. I'm going to click on the little pencil because it says not configured. And I'm going to paste my key in. Once your key is pasted in, then that toggle will open up. So if you put this toggle on, that means that if something's wrong with your key, you don't have money on it, you don't have the right models enabled. If you try to call Claude, you're going to get a failure. So I don't recommend turning this on if you're just trying to get work done. I usually keep it off because what Open Router is going to do is it's going to make a call on your key first, and if it fails, then it's just going to use its own stuff. And that's a better way to do it in my opinion. You can do a test. So this test here, Claude Haiku, I'm going to run the test to make sure that it's okay. And it will tell me, oh, we were able to call out Haiku and we got an answer. So you're good to go. So I'm going to click Save. And that is how you do it. Now, when you go to make an API key inside of Open Router, so I'm in API keys here. This is the Open Router one. You click Create. And when you click Create, you actually don't have to click this. This is if you have some kind of limit on it. You can include BYOK usage in the limit. So the keys limit will apply to the sum of its BYOK usage and Open Router usage. You can use this if you have a budget, so that if you want to make sure that you're not using too much money. Now, another thing to warn about. Here is my key, EAW on YFD. This is my key on YFD, and I've spent a grand total of 62 cents. There is a thing here. So in the activity, I want to show you the logs. Kimmy, it's charging me, but anytime I'm using ChatGPT 5.2 on this Open Router key, you'll see it charges me no money. And that doesn't mean that it was actually free. It just means that they used my custom key. And so they didn't calculate that cost against my Open Router account, but they do tell you how much it would have been. That they estimate it is about 7 cents for that particular run. So we may need to do, it's been some time since it has been some time since we've done a deep dive on how the hell these tokens are calculated and the money aspect of it and all of that. So maybe that's something that we'll do on the YouTube again.
And actually, I just put a link to the actual Open Router documentation on it. And I found out it's technically not free. They will charge you 5%, but your first 1 million calls per month are free. So if you go to 1,000,001 calls, you
don't do more than 1 million calls per month.
Yeah. Or even that they will charge you 5%. Like they will charge what their normal
extra thingy is.
Extra thingy. So, like Open Router, if you buy $20 worth, they charge you 22 or something like that.
Yeah.
They'll charge you that little extra bit they would have gotten anyway.
Yeah. So it's very much of a this is a great feature for people like us, individual authors who are just trying to streamline, because if you have one key to rule them all, guess what? It means you're also kind of like hiding that your OpenAI keys and stuff on like other providers, and you can just use your Open Router key. And then if something happens where that's exposed, it's only that key. You have one key that you just have to disable and make a new key for. So it also can help with the security aspect of things too. So did not plan to go so in depth on this.
I think it's helpful though in this day and age we haven't actually explicitly talked about that in a while, like how to.
No, we should probably have a YouTube video about it. So there we go. Yeah. We'll do that. Okay. 9:36. I got to get writing on this book, guys. Share screen. We are working on, I am in your first draft. I'm going to take us off so you can't see us now. I'm zooming in so big so everybody can see it very well. Oh, Delilah, our pleasure. I really appreciate it. Listen, when I say we weren't planning to do that, I feel bad because I don't stay on schedule. I love field trips. They like, we used to just be like, field trip. We are here for you all. If you show up to the live on YouTube and you have a specific question and we can answer it, that's what we're here for. So thank you so much for being willing to ask that question for everybody else.
And it's always one of those situations, if you have it, 10 other people have it that aren't asking.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so your first draft, we're going to just jump right back in where we were last night. So Cursed Castles and Irish Cream. Love this, that everything is exactly where I left it. So we activated the project last night. We ran a couple of different sections. So I've done a total of 4 LLM runs. I'll go ahead and refresh this. And you can see that it has cost me a grand total of 3 pennies. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'll try to find the 3 pennies. So I'm going to go to the dossier worksheet. Now, if you're here and you get confused, don't click blank template again. But if you do happen to click blank template again, it's going to warn you, warning, this will override your existing content. I don't think that you guys can see the warning sign, but it does show you that. So don't click blank template again. You really want to click edit dossier worksheet, and that's going to literally just pick you up where we left off. If for some reason it was not here, okay, which that should not I can't be zoomed in this much. It's too much. It's messing up the buttons. It's for whatever reason, if it was gone, let me go back to the project. I'm going to scare everybody. If for some reason I was like, yeah, I want a blank template, and I click OK, and I go into the edit dossier because I'm like, oh no, I lost everything that I was doing. Not to worry. Click the import button. This is why I saved my file last night to my hard drive. So all I have to do is go get that worksheet, that markdown file, and look, it's right here. I can import it right in. So I just import it right in, and it's all good. It's all back on there. So we had done section 1. We had done section 2, the story concept. We went through all of this last night. We did the protagonist of Carrie Sullivan. We got through Declan. I apparently attacked metaphors and similes appropriately. We were next into supporting cast. So we ran this. Now this is very interesting. Supporting cast. So let's go to supporting cast. Antagonist. This is an interesting thing here. No, it's just not good enough. Have you ever seen this before, Stacy? It declared the antagonist of my romance the force, the algorithmic panopticon and viral exposure economy.
I was actually doing something the other day, and it's getting very fancy with some of these words.
But here's the thing. In a human world, I don't have to define that the world itself is the antagonist, but the AI doesn't actually exist. So we have to actually spell this out.
Yes, and it understands it, and it understands it in its own words, which is perfect.
Yes. Destroys the private bubble of the college idyll. I like that word, but I never know how to say it. Idyllic. So idyll? What is it? Idyll? I don't know. Forces both protagonists to confront the gap between their curated selves and authentic selves. Threatens Carrie's social standing and Declan's influencer credibility through involuntary public exposure. Converts intimate moments into commodity. Type: system, technological, social force. Operating system: core wound. They have a core wound of the algorithmic panopticon and viral exposure economy.
I like that.
I'm sorry. Oh my gosh.
I mean, why not?
I cannot with this. Yes. The panopticon has feelings too. My next band name. Okay, let's find out what the core.
You have way too much fun when doing these.
Stacey, you're gonna have to read it. I can't.
What are we up to? The core wound.
Core wound.
Emerged from the democratization of surveillance culture and attention economics, feeds on the gap between performed identity and authentic self, punishing those who try to maintain privacy while rewarding those who weaponize transparency.
Want to consume unguarded moments and convert them into engagement metrics. To collapse the distinction between private and public, to force all participants into continuous performance or face cancellation. If you guys do not start making panopticon love stories, I have a feeling what the Sunday shenanigans are going to be.
Yeah, okay.
Shadow Falls is not wrong, and Skew Lights. Have you considered how hard it is to watch everyone everywhere all at once?
It just needs a hug.
Go ahead. Danny, are you able to read the method part?
Yeah, sure. Operates through human vectors, followers follow towards algorithms who unknowingly serve in its hunger and for content. Amplifies.
Oh, I just realized it's too small for you, huh? So yeah, I got it, dude. Who unknowingly serve its hunger for content, amplifies any privacy breach into a reputational crisis, creates feedback loops where the threat of exposure forces preemptive performance, leverages class anxiety and age gap prejudice to generate scandal. It is a threat of 9 of 10. Vulnerability requires human participation and technological connectivity to function. So it's contrasting, like when they're phone free at the cottage, they get protected from this antagonist, but then it's going to be there once they leave the cottage. And then the relationship. Declan has fed this force for years, making him both its servant and potential victim. Carrie has avoided it through elite privacy protocols, making her naive to its mechanisms. It represents Carrie's fear of losing control, the mess being exposed, and Declan's fear that his curated persona is all that makes him valuable. I feel like we just went to a graduate level course on... Sorry, Danny. When I saw you lifting your glasses, like,
yeah,
I have bifocals. Yeah, it's too little. Skew Light says, let the panopticon into it wants to go to the cottage. Let it into the cottage. It wants downtime too.
It wants downtime too. Has anyone considered the panopticon's feelings in all of this?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think we're gonna have to do some romances for the panopticon. All right, so we have the tour guide, Maeve Kearney, mentor guide, foil to Carrie's rigidity, plot facilitator. She knows the remote cottage location, observer, professional distance with sharp observational. Mini wound, cynical about the tourism industry's consumption of Irish culture with a client or with Declan himself. Static but revealing. Okay, I'm going to make edits to that because I want to be more specific. This is a moment where you get to kind of layer that a little bit deeper. If you leave it like this, it's a little too, like I say, it's ambiguous. So complicated history. Okay. Oh, I missed that. Relationship. Sharp observational intimacy. I want to do a little bit more here. Okay, so story function, plot facilitator. I don't, Maeve takes joy in the small slices of life. She is able to shepherd for her clients. This job is her way of contributing good into the world. I misspelled shepherd. Oh, because it's shepherd. Yeah. You have to shep the herd. Professional distance with sharp observational intimacy. I don't think so. Prescriptive busybody who is confident she knows what her tour clients need most. She recognizes Carrie's burnout immediately. She represents the possibility of female friendship without the performance required. Yes. Complicated history with Declan, has guided his content tours before, gives her insight into his before persona. I don't think she has a complicated history. She has seen Declan plateau and is just as interested in him finding joy as she desires her other clients to experience. So she's on Declan's side too. She's cynical about the tourist industry's consumption of Irish culture, possibly burned. Nope, I'm going to say that I'm going to say she used to have a different circumstance where she did not have to work. She did not have to do this work. And now she does. So I'm not going to have that she burns that way. Static but revealing. She does not transform, but her unchanging presence. I'm going to say she does not transform, but her relationship her interactions with the protagonists. I cannot spell this morning. Protagonist. With the protagonists gets more involved day by day. There we go. We're not going to have that. Her unchanging does not impact Carrie's right to be messy. That's stupid. I'm not doing that. Alfie Byrne. Confident for Declan, information source about Declan's pre-influencer past, grounding. Sweet on Maeve, but she won't give him the time of day. There we go. Immediately friendly, protective of Declan, serves as the bridge, blah, blah, blah. No, and also he hates. There are consequences for that. Okay. Immediately friendly to Carrie, runs the pub, skeptical of influencer culture, but loyal to the person beneath. He watched Declan suffer, feels guilty for not being able to save him, fears the Declan he knew. Okay. What do we think? Should Maeve be Declan's auntie?
Sure.
Yeah, that's fine.
Does that feel... Huh?
I think that's fine.
Do we like that idea?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay. Maeve is Declan's auntie. There we go. William Hawthorne. Antagonistic force in the B plot, emails, texts, calls, and bodies. Okay, but move this beyond the cliche. There needs to be real stakes. And a family lawyer should be involved. Embodies the gilded cage. Okay. Older brother who inherited the family business but relies on Carrie, their mother ran. Resents her competence while depending on it. Master of emotional blackmail. Has a wife. What do you want to name her? William is older, so late 40s. We will give William's wife's name is okay. So we need a popular name from the late 70s. How about Deborah? Linda?
Deb.
Yeah.
Actually, that's my wife's name. So.
Yeah, my mom's name is Deborah as well. Has a wife, Deb, who resents Carrie for getting the divorce and is insistent on her and her husband taking their rightful roles now that her mother-in-law is dead. Yeah, that's the rivalry. Trapped. Okay. He doesn't change, but transforms. Okay, cool. Thomas, dark comic relief, cautionary tale, chaos agent. Younger brother, she has parented since childhood. His constant crisis, new business scams, drug binges, legal troubles, trigger her reasonable one, programming. Okay, cool. We'll leave that alone. Sheila O'Rourke, mother figure contrast, represents warm working class authenticity, shows Declan's roots. She immediately likes character in her sharpness and realness. Who is she? Okay, so this is other tour members. Okay, so that's what this group is. So Donald does not understand why his son needs validation from strangers. Oh, this is his parents. Never mind, just kidding. Take that out. And Sheila, she is sister to Maeve. Okay, and then we have Tiff Park. She's a caricature of Gen Z with her hyper documenting. Okay, Brenda and Bob Dwyer. I think I'm going to make him Rob. Rob Dwyer. I'm sorry, Brenda and Bob are just too much. Retired boomers from Florida who ask invasive questions. I love it. Okay, Maeve holds professional authority over the tour. Good cop, bad cop, the algorithmic panopticon. Missing functions, none. Carrie has Maeve, so it figured out that we're good here. And then I'm just going to say add in additional people at castles and events on the itinerary. Make sure they are always named in summaries for continuity. All right. If a name has been used, like example, Jack at the ticket box of a castle, do not reuse that name. For a minor character. Okay. So I'm going to check mark that, and we have gotten to 4. So now it's time for the story world. Before I do that, any questions or anything like that, Stacy, Danny? I know I was kind of in my own head of that, but did you agree with some of the changes I was making or seeing?
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
Yeah, seems pretty solid now.
Mm-hmm. And this is what I think the real secret is like the AI can only get you so far, but it doesn't know that you add complication if you suddenly make the tour guide his auntie. Now there can be other things, and now there's an incentive for her to get Declan a relationship, you know? Okay. So now we're going to do story world, and I'm just going to magic wand it. So magic wand it. I'm going to say here of, use authentic Irish locations and ideas, but be careful that we are not using anything trademarked. This needs to feel like a vacation of the mind. So I'm just influencing how it's going to kind of think about the story world. I should have started this before we had our little chat. So while that's running, I guess we'll go back to this view. 37 people in the house. Make sure you like and subscribe if you are using AI to help you outline more. I mean, you don't even have to use this to write. This is just a good outline tool. The Panopticon. I cannot.
It's funny.
Even if AI couldn't write for anything, I have saved so much time just on brainstorming, outlining, finding those new ideas that I would have to wait to magically hit me in the shower. Like, I know Elizabeth's an ideation person. So, and some people out there are. And again, that doesn't mean good ideas. It just means lots of ideas.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have the opposite. So I have a constant stream. So for me, AI helps give me those constraints. Like if I had to sit there, you've seen me, if I have to pick up a name, I get stuck and I'm like, this has got to be important. But if the AI says Brenda and Bob Dwyer, I'm like, oh, I don't like Bob. He's now Rob. I can just quickly make a tweak because it gives me some constraints for my ideation to be efficient instead of for my ideation to just be it's all I'm most creative when you give me a box I have to try to think outside of.
That's so interesting. Yeah, mine gets me started because that's usually my stuff. And then I'm like, oh, no, wait, that's not supposed to happen. Or now this is supposed to happen. So having that spark is much easier than.
I got all the sparks in the world, honey. I need a fire extinguisher.
But it's so
Danny,
cool that it can do both.
Yeah, it is cool. Danny, where do you fall on that spectrum?
I'm pretty much like what Stacy, because like if it gives me an idea to go with, then I'm pretty good.
Got it. Okay, so the story world 2026. The immediate present where social media monetization, post-pandemic travel hunger, and generational wealth anxiety intersect. I could not have written that. I would not have thought. And this is where I think it's really interesting is that this process forces you to get some of these instructions that the AI needs to, like, this is that secret sauce that je ne sais quoi, that people who are not learning how to do this are going, the AI can't write. It's just crap.
Yeah, because everybody, well, not everybody, but you have to admit, like, if it was writing in a 2018 setting versus a 2024 setting, even worlds of difference, because the pandemic did change social media. Like my daughter is way different than me growing up, not just because she had the exposure to it, but because she had the pandemic where she had to interact digitally. So.
Yep. So the Western Irish countryside, specifically a circuit of medieval strongholds and tower houses across counties Galway and Clare, culminating in a remote stone cottage on the Atlantic coast, unmapped without consistent cellular service. This is the Castle and Spirits tour, moved from curated heritage sites to increasingly isolated terrain. The digital ether, the always present potential of viral exposure. Newport, Rhode Island, secondary location. Collision of three distinct ecosystems, the transient consumption-driven bubble of heritage tourism where authenticity is a marketed commodity and local. So one thing I'm making a note to myself about is this is very nonfiction-y, and it could very easily go preachy. So I'm making a note for my writing rules that no preachiness about socioeconomic things. Does that make sense to you, Stacy?
Yeah, we don't, that's a vibe that would just skew the book.
Oh, Harper's got a quote.
Oh, one thing I love about AI is that when I have an idea, I'm sure will work, but I'm not sure why. The AI gives me good reason why it will or will not work, and I can pivot. Yeah, it's putting into words. That's what I was saying, like with the pandemic thing and such like that. Like I wouldn't be able to put my finger on why it was wrong necessarily, but the AI can. And yeah, if you have an idea, like why is this good or why is this bad or what is this missing, it can break it down a lot more logically than my intuition can.
Yeah, and you have to validate it. You can also disagree with it. It's not the boss. You're the boss.
It's a tool that's breaking it down for you, and then you rebuild it how you want.
Yep.
Yep.
Shadowfall 9561 says working with AI is being an artist, making written collages or mosaics, bringing different pieces together into a whole piece. Okay, extreme asymmetry between inherited capital, carry, trust fund, and hustle-based income. That's really cool. Okay, so world rules. The documentation imperative. In the influencer economy, unwitnessed experience is wasted experience. Every location, conversation, and intimate moment carries potential commodity value. Privacy is a finite resource that depletes exponentially when exposed to camera lenses, and the default assumption in any public space is that someone is recording. Old money omerta. In Carrie's social stratum, reputation is managed through strategic silence and exclusion, not spectacle. Public emotion displays, visible legal proceedings, acknowledgement of scandal grants the public power over private narrative. Controls maintained by denying the audience a show. Thus, any leak of private behavior to the digital sphere constitutes an irreversible breach of this conduct. The tourism performance contract. The locals in the heritage industry must perform culturally expected Irishness for visitors. The storytelling, the charm, while maintaining private authenticity in spaces marked as off limits. Maeve navigates this by facilitating escapes from the performance. Alfie refuses to perform it for anyone who orders car bombs or treats his culture as a theme park. Connectivity is gravity. Cellular signal and Wi-Fi act as tethering forces to maintain social physics. Their absence is a temporary suspension. In dead zones, characters become weightless from their usual obligations, but also untethered from their sense of self. Okay. So these fields, this might be a little bit tricky. This is just to help explain the physical world to an AI that's got to predict the next word. So this is just to help it make connections that you do naturally in your brain, but the AI needs help because it doesn't have a brain.
Yeah, usually unless I see something that's really missing the mark, feeling wise here, I generally leave it alone. And even if I change it, I tend to use the AI cascade to, hey, or the AI part to, hey, change this vibe about it or something.
Yep. I'm going to jump down here to the sensory palette. Tactile. The story opens primarily through this. I'm going to say this is not an exhaustive list. Add more and do not repeat. And do not repeat experiences or descriptions. So I'm already starting to layer in stuff into my worksheet to encourage the AI once it starts working that it's always supposed to kind of move on to the next idea, if that makes sense. Because if you don't do that, your worksheet becomes this echo chamber. It becomes every time I describe this, I have to talk about the ozone. Every time I talk about this, I have to talk. Have you noticed that, Stace and Danny?
Yeah, even if you don't get the ozone, like you finally get it to go off ozone, suddenly peat moss or something like that is the new the new setting.
So I'm actually going to grab this and I'm going to hop over into Claude because I'm using Claude for this this Oh, there we go. Claude. I'm using because I'm using Claude for the actual writing. I'm going to use Claude for changes to my worksheet because Claude understands itself. So this is Opus 4.6. I'm going to say this is part of a worksheet to run a novel. It's a Irish travel romance. Help me expand this section so the AI does not get stuck on just these sensory details. And then I'm going to come over here to the narrative physics engine, or to the YFD. Where am I? I've lost my mind. Worksheet editor. Okay. Yeah, it's these signature details. So we're going to put this here. And I'm going to just put it in. I'm using Opus. The AI should continuously generate new tactile experiences. Ireland is a country that demands to be felt before it is seen. It's never silent. Beyond peat smoke. Okay. The green is not one green, but hundreds. None of them matching anything in a paint catalog. I like this. Look at all of that cool stuff. All right. Thank you very much, Goddess Divine. Well, I'm Goddess Divine. Thank you very much to the AI. Okay, so I'm going to grab all of this. What time of year is this taking place? That's a good question, Skew Lights. I have no idea. I'll let it choose. Okay, so I'm going to come over here and I'm going to paste this in. And that's how you make these changes over here. You just paste it in. Oh. Okay, wait a minute here. Sensory palette. Okay. And then come over to worksheet editor and share this tab instead. And on this left-hand side is just where you paste and you just paste things into. Oh, I saw metallic. So I'm going to paste that in. I'm going to take out the metallic. Yeah, no metallic smell. The sound of rain. I don't know where that is. The title. The taste. It's probably a small thing, but we don't want I don't want metallic in there. The physical sensation, the gray cloth, the green. Oh, there we go. Found it. Okay. The metallic tang of... We don't need metallic. It's just a tang. It's just a tang of adrenaline. That's all you get. The cold, distinct smell before a storm. Because it's not metallic when a storm's going to come in. I know that smell. Okay, so we're going to save that. Save the thing. And now we're going to move on to section 6. And we're going to magic wand. And this is the narrative physics engine. And I'm just going to go ahead and generate it. So it didn't name him Declan. I did. I love the name Declan. I've used the name Declan since before AI. If I had ever had a little boy, Declan would have been a name I would have wanted to use. Declan and Quinn. If Caitlin had been a boy, she was going to be Zachary Quinn. So, So, but yes, popular names are always a possibility. The good thing is, this is a Sydney Marsh book, so it's going to be labeled AI, so I don't have to worry about anyone seeing the names and being like, oh, I think this was written with AI. Spoiler alert, yes, it was. But that's a great point, Delilah. Thank you. For those who don't know, Declan is a very popular name. I wanted to name my son Marcus, so I have a few in my pre-AI books. Yep. Did I ever tell you guys I figured out where they got the Willow Creek from?
Oh, yeah, you had told me, like, I found patient 0. It had, like, Willow Creek and or I forget. It was a bunch of them.
It's freaking Vampire Diaries. It was CW scripts. But I don't think it was CW scripts. I think it was the fan fiction. So all the fan fiction of the Vampire Diaries turned into, because I was watching the Vampire Diaries for the first time and actually going through it, and they have the Battle of Willow Creek.
Oh.
So...
well, even like Chen, there's a Chen on the staff of OpenAI.
Well, I mean, that's a very popular last name.
Yeah.
But Willow Creek is not, I don't think there's there's very few like real Willow Creeks out there and everything like that. But if you watch the Vampire Diaries, you're going to see a whole bunch of stuff of Elena. Remember, Elena is a big AI name? And Elena is not that popular of it. I mean, it's not that popular of a name internationally. There's so many other ones too. Like you're watching the Vampire Diaries and you're like, that's an AI-ism. That's an AI-ism.
Okay, now I gotta go watch it.
Yeah. So there we go. So we're going to save that, and we have the narrative physics. I don't usually get too involved about the narrative physics because the AI, this is for the AI, not for me. I don't change the numbers unless it's like really bizarre, but it makes sense that they would start at 1 and they would end at 9. This is basically just saying that the internal axis is equal to the relationship axis and the external axis is less, but it's still important. The time axis is a weight of 2. Vector registry, hunger for consequence-free, impulsivity and sensory experience after decades of suppression, magnitude 8, direction toward integration. I have no idea what this means. But the good news is the AI does, so I just leave it alone. So, magnitude vector. Oh, I remember what magnitude means. Magnitude is the difference in like the low point to the high point, right? Like the magnitude of a wave is the...
it's intensity.
Yeah, so it's how much is how variable is this intensity going to get? Like what's it going to change on? This is, I just want to say, this is the most like innovative thing I think that we have done where it comes to writing books with AI is understanding that there's a math component to this, a physics component to this. One of the things about math is that it is a universal language. You can use math to describe anything in the world. But most of us didn't get access to that kind of math. We got, algebra and stuff like that. We got the basic stuff. But like the more complicated calculus and theoretical statistics and physics and things like that, it can literally define the curve that's used for like the light, your stoplight. You can use math to describe what the frequency is of the cars moving on a different on an intersection. And what's great about that is the computer, having never driven through an intersection, but understands the math numbers, can understand the pacing and the frequency and like the timing of it, even though it has never actually sat at a left-hand turn lane.
And what I also found interesting, I think we've added it into YFD, but when you create an outline or you have it start writing, it just goes bump, like it's obstacle overcoming, like it just kind of march steps to the end.
Yeah. And
it was never like going on a side quest or anything else happening. Like these people have lives apart from the plot, show that. And it's like, oh, okay, I'll tell it to inject X amount of entropy per scene. Oh, which entropy is the decay.
The slow loss of energy, right? The decay of energy as you're using it.
Yes, or basically it devolving into chaos, essentially.
Yeah,
right.
every transfer of energy, you're going to have a little bit of entropy. You're going to have a little bit lost.
A little bit lost and just a little bit going crazy. So it adds just a little bit of unexpected by asking it for entropy.
And this made the changes too in these scenes so that they actually read richly. Like the AI would constantly write scenes of like, I'm going to shove everything in before this scene ends. There was never a moment where it was really good at being like, I'm going to suspend the action from this scene over into the next scene. I'm going to allow this to develop over multiple scenes. It was like, we have a problem, and then we're going to immediately address it before the chapter's even over. And you're like,
yeah.
But or sit there and reveal the murder, you know, 2 chapters in.
Yeah.
Yep. But by asking it for those, or it has now pacing rules in numerical format that now it can understand.
And it understands numbers in terms of a value. So, well, humans, we would never put a number on I would never put a number on like, in old writing world. Now I do. And what I mean by that is, let's talk about mysteries, for example, like that killer thing. If you think about a scale of from 0 to 100, which could be represented from 0 to 10, of the progress of the detective knowing who the killer is. The beginning of the story that starts at maybe like a 0 to a 10%, right? And then as the story continues on, that number gets bigger. And that number helps to tell the AI, hey, if the detective is supposed to be at 20% or 30% of knowing who the killer is, don't say who the killer is at the end of the chapter because they don't know 100% yet. And I never in a million years would have thought that this is how we actually get the AI to stop telling secrets.
Yeah. And it's funny here. I'll put it in the chat. This is part of my notes from the narrative fiction engine, but just as an example, or not the notes, the chat there, that is a logical statement for Sally likes all types of ice cream, but she doesn't like mint chocolate chip. So you can make it, and I have it where it defines the variable sort of thing.
Yeah.
But like what person looks at that and says, oh, Sally likes all types of ice cream, but not mint chocolate chip. But for the AI, if you tell it Sally likes all types of ice cream, but she doesn't like but she doesn't like mint chocolate chip. It's like it's like looking at that statement for it.
It only understands it as that.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I'm confused.
It only understands it as a set, and then there's an exclusion from the set.
Exactly.
Yeah, and this is math that, believe it or not, this kind of math, this kind of logical math about sets and stuff like that used to be part of core curriculums. And I only know this because I homeschool my daughter and we did Life of Fred, which did like algebraic concepts and stuff with her as an elementary school student. Life of Fred, by the way, is a great set of books if you can get your hands on it to understand some of this. Like, math has not always been X equals Y squared. Or like, it's not that. Math also is how you describe, like, the pantry is 40% goods that are going to expire. That's still math. But it's also language. Because it's the pantry. So some people are just like, I just know that. So that's why I tell people who are like, I'm not very good at math, but then you find out that they do all the grocery shopping, they do all the household stuff, they do all of the planning and stuff. I'm like, I hate to break it to you, but you're actually a genius at math. You're just a genius at math that they don't put in the textbooks right now.
So we could get the AI to not spill secrets, but not EAW.
How do you think I figured out how to not get the AI to spill secrets? Because I spill secrets. And so I understand, like, why do I spill secrets? Because I didn't have a clear reason not to. There was no constraint that I had to follow. Like in the example of me disclosing what I disclosed earlier, I'm the CEO. Like,
Steph and Stacy won't get that upset. They'll be fine.
No, they won't. And they also know that, like, a part of me understands that it is part of our culture. It's a fun market. I didn't tell everything about it. I just told enough that people will be, they'll know what's on the horizon. And so I didn't disclose everything because there was a constraint there in that I know we don't have everything fully planned out. So I do have to be careful about how much I say, because what I say will be bound to, and that would hurt the people that I care about, Steph and Stacy, because it would box them in. So I do work with constraints. They just have to be real constraints, like authentic constraints.
AI too. So that's way if you give it like, oh, I kind of want it to be more dark, like, and then it goes super dark, or it ignores you.
Yeah,
it doesn't understand. Kinda. Where if you put I want a 0.3 deviation from the norm for each scene, sort of thing. Oh, I could do that. Why didn't you just say that?
Yeah. And the other thing too is like in that scenario, I want it to be a little bit more dark, but I'm not really sure. If you describe that as, I want this to get to the point that the readers think that they are broken up, that makes it understand it's got to get all the way down to a 1, or it's got to get all the way down to a 2 from where it was a 7 or an 8 before. So yeah, Susan Gable says, I liked Sideways Arithmetic from Wayside School. Use that with my elementary school students. I didn't read that one. So that's good to know. Cause yeah, I remember I used to have my dad's old math book and stuff like that. And it would have like the union symbols for the sets and the logic and stuff like that. That doesn't get taught a lot anymore. Maybe we just need to have some like basic fun math stuff as classes. Let us know in the chat.
Huh? They don't even do cursive handwriting anymore in school.
They do in some schools. It just depends. But I mean, cursive is not going to be nearly as helpful as math.
Oh, right.
But I agree. There's lots of things. But yeah, the math is. So let me know. Would you like more? Would you like some fun math classes with Elizabeth? We'll do some fun, crazy math that'll help us with the statistics and the concepts here of what's happening with the physics and everything. I think that would be kind of fun.
It's funny. My formal education didn't include it up until my MBA. It did have decision making metrics and kind of that kind of logic, even a mathematical. But my Navy training did, because circuits.
TQM.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, circuits.
Circuits are not and not those sort of things. So.
It's binary. It's an off-on switch. Yeah.
And gates and NOR gates and.
Yeah.
My dad was an electrician too, so he would sit down with me and I remember being in elementary school and he would have a diagram and I had to figure out, he would be like, these are the 6 lights and this one's broken, but the panel's here. Where do you start? And I'm like, there. And he was like, no, you start with this first one. So you can, and so we would do logic stuff, but
no Easter egg, shipmate.
Yeah, he was, I don't know, but I will say though that I also he came home with the binder, the big white binder for Dr. Deming, the total quality leadership and stuff like that, because he was a chief. And I read through the binder when I was in elementary school. It's fine. It was no foreign. I'm not foreign. It was all good. It was not classified. But it was all about the decision making and the concept of Six Sigma with small little incremental improvements and how that can make a big difference. So yeah, I'm chock full of management mumbo jumbo numbers.
I tossed a letter into my numbers.
Huh?
She's
tossed a letter into my numbers.
Yeah, she got freaked out when they tossed a letter into her numbers.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go with the narrative physics engine. The basics of it is good. So now I'm going to let section 7 run. Probably should have let that run. So here's what's going on. This is the thresholds and entropy. So no premature resolution. What conflicts must not be resolved before the climax. What emotional states carry forward. So this is a pretty short section. Now, you're probably going to look at this thing and go Elizabeth, I could have run section 6, 7, and 8 or 6 and 7 all together. Yes, you could. The reason I separated that out, though, is because if people are working on a very large project, this worksheet has to be able to handle if you're doing something that's like 50 or 60 chapters long, something that's really broad. So yes, eventually, spoiler alert, those of you who are like, I want to write a series, the easiest way to probably write a series is this. I don't know that Joe has done this, is probably to like do like a 90 chapter story so that books 1, 2, and 3 are all one story, and then you just break it up. Oh, Stacey.
That would actually be a good, because we always get the question, how do I write in series?
Mm-hmm.
How do I write in series? And for like, I use romances, but there's types of series that are just based around common towns, common couples, common people sort of thing. And then there's the ones like Star Wars or something like that, that are a continuation, or Red Rising, or those sort of books that are Lord of the Rings sort of thing, where each book builds off the next. So write it as one big book and then chop it and maybe do a better job than, I don't want to say do a better job than Tolkien. That's very presumptuous, but smooth out the arc for each one.
Yeah, 90 chapters is not a good way to use up the tokens.
Yeah.
Tokens are capped at 40 chapters. So, well, then it would not be. Yeah, because again, if we just allowed you to run infinite chapters on the token, our wallets can't do that. Harper goes, Elizabeth, we should talk after the live and I'll tell you how that little experiment went. I'm curious, is it possible to double the chapters, say from 10 to 20, by creating 2 scenes per chapter and dedicating 1 chapter's POV per scene? Yes, we went over that last night. That's why this one is actually only a 10 chapter, but it's going to do multiple scenes per thing. Yeah, Harper, you're going to have to spill the beans. I don't know if you want to come on stage, because it's going to be running, so you might as well come talk to us, unless it's negative and you don't want me to tell.
From it sounds like it didn't go well.
Well, then I just have to fix it. So I want the bad news too. I don't think that's what she's saying. I think it worked, and she's afraid of people using up the system, but we'll find out. So Harper, on Discord, I went ahead and gave you the link so you can come join us on stage. Come spill your guts. Okay. So here's the thing about the narrative physics thresholds. This handled the access thing, but it also is picking a target chapter so that it helps to explain how that goes. Oh, I heard a boop. Add to the stage. Hey, Harps.
Hello.
Hello. Before you do that, let me go ahead and go into the next section so that I can do these writing rules so it can be generating while we're talking. So I'm going to go to the writing style rules, and I am going to magic wand this, and I'm going to go to my notes because I had a couple of notes here. Important additions. Do not get caught up on repetitive descriptions for characters or locations. For example, Carrie is described as volcanic. You get a single metaphor, maybe 2, in that vein. You have to be expansive in your interpretation of the story world into sensory details and what's the word? Dialogue and exposition to the reader. So that's something there. Another thing I have is that no preachiness on the panopticon or social economic forces. The characters live the consequences or the benefits. We don't need an editorial voice on this. Smells happen, 2 characters. There's another thing too that I was going to put in here. Hold on a minute. The original prompt has something in there about smells happen and this and that. Oh, I remember now. All edits, this is important, a very important override. All edits must be made for the final chapter. So all editing reports generated that have must fix and should fix, all errors must be fixed, even if it is labeled should fix. Okay, so that is what I'm putting in here. I'm going to copy this and put this in your notes. I'm going to generate that enhancement, and then we will talk to Harper. Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. So what's the bad news? Is it good? Is it bad? Like we're dying to know.
Well, I mean, it's good for me. I'm not sure Joe is going to like it, but
that's what my suspicion was. Okay, shoot.
It has been put on his list of things to look at, though.
Okay.
Because Jen and I were talking about it the whole time the project was running, because we were excited to see what would happen. Because I was testing the bring your own key portion of YFD.
Yeah.
And I've been doing this women's fiction thing, which is really long.
Mm-hmm.
So I put all the chapters in, expecting it to tell me, no, you can only do 40.
No, it's unlimited if you have bring your own key.
Yeah. And so, I put 60 in, ran all 6 parts of the book all in one go.
Mm-hmm.
And it kept narrative logic. It stuck to the outline that I gave it. It did all the things it was supposed to across all 60 chapters. The only thing it didn't do, and that's because user error, I forgot to explicitly tell it that chapters 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50 needed to end on a solid cliffhanger.
Got it.
But that's
an easy thing to put into the worksheet when you're planning it out. Like I could have put that in these instructions that chapters 2, 6, and 9 had to end on cliffhangers, and it would do it.
Right. But it was easy to fix that outside of YFD as well, because I only needed the chapters were so well written that I only needed to adjust the ending paragraph so that it also still went smoothly. The following chapter picked up right where the ending paragraph. So at most, a couple of them, I had to change 1 or 2 lines on the following
If you
paragraph.
actually put that in the worksheet, it'll do that. I did that with my JAF, that one chapter should lead into the next so that it feels like a natural transition.
Yeah, for the most part,
unless there's a jump in time.
Yeah, no, for the most part it did. And so, it was a real easy fix. It costs a little bit of money because it's 60 chapters.
So you were using Claude?
Actually, I was using Gemini.
Okay. So
Yeah.
60 chapters. Do you know how much money it was total, or I could go look it up if you want?
According to YFD, the estimated was $41.
Okay.
But it was less than that.
Yes, because it's only an estimate.
$37 or $38, something like that. So because there were Kimmy runs in there as well too, which were
the
super
summary.
cheap.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So that answered Susan's question of which model did you use. Here's the spoiler, you guys. Do you guys remember when I was absolutely crazy a few weeks ago and I did Meet Me on Venus? What do you guys think I was testing? I was running all kinds of stuff. I drove myself absolutely mad. I've done the whole, like, how do I get 3 books in a series in one go? I've been working on all of that because I know you guys ask questions and you're like, well, when are we going to get this? When are we getting to get this? I've been working on it, but this is the first time I've ever gotten this thing to where it's pretty close to, like, I can't get over what this thing can do.
Yeah, I am impressed. I mean, I've been working with NPE on my own in anti-gravity, and I've gotten close, but doing it with YFD the last few days has been amazing. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm totally borrowing some of the prompting from that too.
Fantastic. That's why we open sourced it. So we're going to hop into the writing style rules real fast. I'd love if you stayed on. If you have to go, I understand too. But I really want to jump into this because I think that we're going to do an even deeper dive on the writing style rules and the genre lenses later this week in another session. But we're going to go through this. I can't wait to start writing chapters here.
Yeah, I can hang out for a while.
Yep. Fantastic. Stacy, if you need a jet, if your batteries are low, I understand.
I might pass the torch on to Harper then.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've been at this an hour and 37 minutes. Same thing for Danny. If you are spent, I do not expect everyone to keep up with me. But I just got a second wind, so we may end up going all the way until ink and code at noon. I make no promises.
Because after this, I'm other energy.
Yeah. Huh?
So I'm not good at vampiring energy.
Yeah, I'm vampiring so bad. So first person limited, strict adherence to Carrie Sullivan Hawthorne's immediate sensory and cognitive experience. No omniscient information links. Declan's emotional states must be inferred through physical tells, dialogue, and Carrie's interpretation of his behavior only. Carrie cannot know what happens outside her presence. She can only receive information in her late Gen X cultural reference frame. So we have all of this, revealing the volcanic restlessness beneath their controlled exterior. Deep immersion, direct access to Carrie's psychological responses, intrusive thoughts, and sensory processing. The narrative should feel like reading her unfiltered consciousness, including the compulsive inventory of duties, slights, and risks. Blunt and direct, allergic to purple prose. Metaphors and similes are permitted only when sparing, ironic, or referencing specific literary, pop cultural touchstones. Hey guys, look, it worked that in. From last night. The prose prioritized clinical precision in describing physical sensation and architectural detail, shifting to raw, unadorned frankness during moments of sexual intimacy or emotional crisis. The vocabulary ranges from Ivy League adjacent terminology regarding etiquette and historic preservation to rampant, unvarnished profanity when Carrie's control slips. I might be channeling a little bit of myself there when sometimes I just get upset and I just start cursing a lot. Okay. High subtext mandatory. Carrie speaks in coded indirectness of old money New England, deflecting with questions, wielding silence, deploying compliments as weapons. Declan initially speaks in the subtext of brand-safe influencer performance, concealing security. When emotional stakes peak, subtext collapses into Irish working-class directness or clipped profanity-laden honesty. Laden. Do you guys see how that's going to make a huge difference in the dialogue?
Yeah, I'm impressed with how it does that, but yeah, it will.
Power dynamics. Okay, Declan code switches. Prose rules. Do. Carrie does not feel sad. She notices the specific weight of antique rings. The humidity causing her chignon to loosen, or the mineral taste of limestone dust on her tongue. I don't know about that. I don't like that.
Oddly specific.
That's a no. That's a big fat no. Show all emotional states through physical sensation and action. We're just going to go through physical action. Okay. Carrie does not feel sad. She clinks her weighty antique rings against glassware. Okay. This is a big difference, you guys. This is important. All right. If you don't want bad AI writing, do not leave this like this. The second you tell the AI that it gets to show all emotional states through physical sensation, it's going to do exactly what it talked about here. The mineral taste of limestone dust on her tongue. If it wrote the mineral taste of limestone on my tongue, no, we never think that. We think, ugh, my mouth is dusty. I need a drink. You know? The anxiety of constantly fixing her chignon as the humidity assails its perfection. Assails has 2 S's. Or the yuck, my tongue is dusty. I need a drink.
Much better.
Yes. Generate entirely new tactile and olfactory details in every scene. No. If a scene will have tactile and olfactory details, make sure they are distinct from other scenes. Not all scenes need a bunch of sensory details. Do not overwhelm the reader. Now, I know you're going like, what? But if I sell this, it'll never do it. Trust me, it's still going to freaking do it. We're just trying to.
It will.
It will.
We're just trying to curtail it just a little bit.
Ground the narrative in what the body feels, the specific texture of damp wool against skin, the grit of ancient stone under fingertips, the briny iodine punch of fresh seaweed, the way cold rain. Smells must happen to the characters, impossible to wash out in one shower. Is ever mentioned or part of the plot. There we go. End every chapter on a narrative hook, a revelation, a decision, a shift in power, or a moment of unexpected intimacy. No chapter ends with reflection. All end with propulsion. Yes. Deploy Carrie's compulsive mental list making when she experiences anxiety or stress. Inventory of unfinished duties. Catalog. These lists should read as her attempts to impose logic. In the middle of the book, this should lessen. And as the chaos comes in, for the dark moment, it's back. It can be funny in the last chapter how Declan's permanent presence in her life now changes what list she makes. Distinct vocabulary registers. Prioritize the sensory evolution arc. Early scenes emphasize Carrie's resistance. Mid-story sensation is seductive. Yep. Late story, it's recalibrated. Okay. Do not use metaphors. Carrie is allergic to metaphors. Yeah.
That copied almost word for word what you wrote last night.
It does. Do not preach, editorialize, or explicate social economic forces, the panopticon, class stratification, algorithmic capitalism. Characters live the consequences and benefits of these systems. The narrative does not explain them. Show the leaked photos' impact. Don't lecture on surveillance culture. Do not use purple prose or euphemistic language during explicit intimate scenes. 5 Chili Peppers. Write sex with the same blunt physical precision as a whiskey tasting, grounded in tactile reality, body fluids, and the specific sounds of breathing and movement. No waves of passion or towers of strength. Yes. I don't know if she would use the P word. I'm going to say that. There we go. not tired euphemisms.
You put tried.
Oh, thank you. Folds is fine. I don't mind folds, but no golden triangle, core, or
no.
Thanks to a romance book from my mother in 4th grade, golden triangle was the first words I had for my anatomy. He touched her golden triangle. I was like, I think I have a golden triangle. Golden triangle, core, or what's another one? Or moist. Yeah, we don't want moist. Do not use weather, celestial bodies, or seasonal indicators to establish time of day or mood unless experienced through carries physical. Rain rather than dark clouds gathered. Yep, I like it. They can enjoy the moon, but only if they're talking about it. Do not allow Carrie to whine, wallow in emotional fixation, or engage in navel-gazing introspection. Her emotions hit after being managed for so long that they immediately impact decision-making and risk assignment. Do not recycle sensory details across scenes. If peat smoke was described in Chapter 1, Chapter 3 must use wild garlic or diesel. Ireland offers inexhaustible sensory variety. Exploit it. Use discretion. Less is better. Okay. So pacing guidelines. 1,200 to 2,000 words per scene, 3 to 5 scenes per chapter, approximately 6,000 words per chapter, maintaining the tight day-by-day timeline of the vacation affair. Action to reflection, 60-40. That's good. Sawtooth escalation with relief beats. Chapters alternate between external pressure and the temporary relief of the isolation bubble. Each relief beat must be shorter than the preceding pressure beat, creating an overall escalation toward the dark moment collapse when the isolation field shatters. No emotional resets between chapters, intimacy compounds, and the cost of progress. Okay. And then I'm going to say, make the writing fun and unexpected for the reader. Make the reader laugh. Make the reader sad. Make the reader feel love. This is an experience, not a report. Okay, so I'm going to put that in there, and I am going to, and by the way, you guys will get this worksheet and everything like that in your notes so that you can see all the changes I made. So we save that, and now we move on to the genre lens. Save. So I made the changes. And now the genre lens. This is going to fill in all of this information, the specific information about the genre. So I'm going to go ahead and magic wand it and go ahead and let me go check the notes. Yeah, no smell this, smell that, smell of the things. Is she a dog? If yes, then okay. You're only tasting limestone dust and definitely not eating that if you're kissing the Blarney Stone. And if you're kissing the Blarney Stone, you're definitely not tasting dust. Plumstone's like, this wasn't a report. This was something else, an experience. Yeah. So there we go. Harper, when you write your romance and stuff, because you're going to be talking about this more with the intensives. So with your most recent experiment with YFD, the intensive is definitely now a whole new experience.
Yeah, I have to say that I've been scrambling the last 2 days trying to add a few extra little bonuses to the intensive for folks. So I have a slightly modified worksheet. It just adds a few extra romance things to the NPE thing. And I plan to, because we go through it while we're working in anti-gravity, I'm always going to be showing people how and where they should be modifying things so that it works better for them. Because we basically use a version of a worksheet in anti-gravity as well.
Yes, so that's why I open source the prompts. Those prompts can be used in anti-gravity. Those prompts can be used in Claude Cowork. Those prompts can be used.
They work very well. Yes.
They're very generic. They're not generic. They're very agnostic to genre so that they can be rich. But I love that you made changes to them and are going to show that, because that's really what the next level of skill is how do you change this for your own personal, what you're trying to write.
It is. And I want to make sure that when at the end of the intensive, everybody who was there knows how to change, like the romance architect, the agent that are inside anti-gravity. They know how to change it so that it fits them better. Because I've done the best I can to give it generic instructions for a broad range of romance genres. But if you only write in one particular romance genre and you're always doing that, you should be able to modify the romance architect so it fits your genre even more. And I will show them how to do that, because that's important to me, that they learn not only how to use it, but how to modify it for their own needs.
Mm-hmm. So here we have the genre rules. Remember, the prompting here did not say heat level rules. It invented, we need heat level rules because we are doing a contemporary romance. And it says, given the 5 Chili Pepper explicit rating across 10 chapters and 60,000 words, the manuscript requires 4 to 5 explicit sexual encounters with escalating emotional stakes. I would agree with that. That might even be a little bit too much for 60,000 words, but I think if you have 4, that's okay. But Harper, what do you think?
I think so. I mean, it would probably be on the cusp depending on the genre, but I think that's probably a safe number.
On the cusp of being too much or being too little?
I would say right on the edge. It's going to depend on the reader, not the genre in particular. So there are going to be, it's hitting right in the middle.
Yeah, there's some readers who are like, I just want the sex.
Yeah, and there are going to be some readers who are, there's, too much. So I think being in that middle ground where you're going to hit somewhere in the sets of readers, I think you'll be safe.
Yep. And it says placement follows the insta-love acceleration. Chapter 4, first encounter establishing physical chemistry. Chapter 5, midpoint intimacy. Chapter 6, peak isolation bubble experimental playful. Chapter 9, reunion reconciliation sex emotional integration. Chapter 10, affirmation of HEA. That's pretty great. No explicit content in Chapter 1, antagonism must be established first, or Chapter 8, dark moment separation. It says here, mandatory use of direct anatomical terminology, and it has what's there. 0 euphemistic purple prose, no folds of passion, towers of strength, moist cores. It main turns her allergic to metaphors literalism. So there lots of influencer physique, then appreciative gaze, focusing on the tactile reality. Every intimate scene must simultaneously advance the relationship vector and challenge Carrie's internal axis of control versus chaos. Sex cannot be recreational. It must function as a pressure test for her mask. Cool. Strict first person limited through Carrie's sensorium. Declan's pleasure and internal state are evidenced only through his physical reactions, vocalizations, and involuntary tells. No access to his thoughts. Hey! I don't know. Do we want this? I'm on the fence about this. Carrie's aging body, 44, is rendered with specific physical reality, perimenopausal considerations, the texture of her skin, maintenance requirements, not sanitized usefulness.
I don't like that.
I want reality. I don't want.
Yeah, because the AI is going to take that too far.
Yeah. But only to convey reality, not take this too far. Here's an example. Carrie can realize she has stretched joints that haven't stretched in a while. She is not characterized as an old lady having sex.
Yes, just because you're perimenopausal does not mean that you are geriatric.
Right.
And Declan is not ready. for her knowing exactly what she wants and needs. Okay. Yeah. So we have these relationship ones. We're gonna save that. If you are ever wondering what the AI is doing, just give an example. Just be explicit, you know. Okay, so we're good here about the genre lenses, her competence and all of that. 3 to 7. I'm gonna leave this alone because it's got it pretty good. What? Resolution of fertility. The narrative must acknowledge the biological reality without making it tragic or central. The HEA is child-free by mutual choice or biological circumstance, framed as liberation rather than lack. Any implication that Declan needs a younger woman for procreation is explicitly rejected as a value system. Carrie and Declan both deem ridiculous. Okay, good. They're dinks. Double income, no kids. Okay. Is that a problem for romance, you think? Or I think that more romance authors are more romance readers are willing to accept that.
I am seeing that more and more in romance. And I think readers love that. I mean, because, you know, it used to be that it was always expected back in the day, but more and more people are deciding not to have kids. And I think that's being reflected in the books now.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen any backlash over any of the books that I've read where the heroine and the hero have decided they don't want kids, and they're very explicit in the book. Not a single reader backlash in the reviews at all. So I think it's becoming more widely accepted.
Yeah. Some niches you can't avoid wedding and baby. There's nothing wrong with wedding and baby. I think for this particular story, it's not necessary.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so either.
Danny, I appreciate your allyship on the no, we don't like the perimenopausal woman details. I just assumed you have not actually had sex as a perimenopausal woman, so that's why I just jumped to we're going to explain this. RK Stilling goes, not Danny looking like he's questioning his life choices. All right. So the story summary this is where we're going to start getting into the outline. So once you get through section 9, you basically have finished the broad strokes, and now we're going into structure summary, structure breakdown, chapter outlines, and then the continuity check. So Carrie Sullivan Hawthorne arrives at the Shannon Airport. If you want to do nothing but just make sure the story summary is good, it will feed it into the rest. So we're going to do a deep dive on the story summary, and then I'm going to let it run the outline, and we're just going to get surprised by what the book is. Okay. 44 years of being the reasonable one. She joins the Foam-Free Castle and Spirits tour, Western Ireland, intending to drink, gamble, and reclaim her suppressed impulsivity. She classes immediately with him. Their antagonism, hyper-documenting Gen Z, chaotic mess in the Den Zone cottage. The midpoint polarity flip happens during a stormbound night in Chapter 5. The isolation field shatters in Rhode Island. Final transformation. Having done his homework, he understands Foundation protocols, dresses appropriately for her world, and refuses to be intimidated by blue blood posturing or perform the kept boy role. He chooses a smaller, authentic life with her over his hollow digital empire. Okay, cool. We're going to go with that. So let's go ahead. So here's what I'm going to do, just to make this a little bit faster. Section 11 through 17, because I already have these sections, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock the sections. I do not want it to change. So when you do this and you do the AI cascade, it is going to pick up and finish this all out. So I'm going to click on the AI cascade, and I'm going to give it instructions that will be there for each time. And I'm going to say, go to your second or third idea for the plot events. As you try to translate this into a scene-by-scene outline. Each scene should be one step past the expected scene for this genre. For example, airplanes are boring. So are airports. But a crazy bus and traffic and meet and greet is more interesting. Go with the more interesting and novel idea for a scene. Okay, so I'm giving it that instruction. And then I'm just going to let it cascade. So it's going to go through each of those sections, and I'm just going to start the server processing. This will probably take like 10 or 15 minutes, and I will go put that on the notes.
I should add that when what I typically do when I get to the outline portion is, because sometimes I'll have like scenes in my head that I know I want in the book.
Yeah.
I will do that, but I don't specifically say something like that. I need to add that to what I do put in there.
If you know those scenes, you should definitely put those in there. I don't have, I mean, I could give it a list of scenes. Like there was one scene in the bar that I liked, but that was from an early edition. And I'm not going to try to like say that has to happen. I think it's going to happen. Just the fact that it says Alfie won't serve an American who asks for a car bomb. I can't imagine the EA is not going to work that in somewhere so that it's a good comic relief of like someone getting trounced for being an idiot. So this is just a generic, like, don't go, because it's a thinking model every single time. You can say, don't go with your first idea, go with your second or your third. That allows the AI to get to that next level of unexpectedness.
Yeah. And the scenes that I put in there are the things that I think are important, like never forget the first kiss.
Mm-hmm.
And that has, because sometimes you write a romance with AI and it's like they gloss over, you blink, you've missed the first kiss, and it should be at least more than one sentence.
Right.
And so I will put things like, make sure that the first kiss is in there and that it's important, you know. And there are other scenes that it's not specific scenes for the book, but it's specific scenes in romance that I expect in my books, if that makes sense.
Yes, and that's like your call. Sydney Marsh, sometimes their first kiss is right before their first time in bed.
Right. It's going to be different for every romance. Yeah. So.
Right, because I'm writing an insta-love. So it's kind of, you can't really do an insta-love very well, I don't think, if you do like this kiss and then you're separate like that. That's more of like a regular romance pacing where we're going to date and slow this right
roll. And I do speed things up when I'm writing insta love as well, because you know, and there are times where I'm doing insta love, you know, the sex scene is right in chapter 2. So.
Oh yes, absolutely. This one's even a little bit later that it's in chapter 4, but I think it's going to be okay because there's going to be shenanigans and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think so.
And this is what I think is important. You know, these are the craft things that you can't fake if you don't know it. Like if you're just coming to AI and you're like, AI is going to write me a book for me. This is the difference. This is what I wish the people who lost their freaking minds over the New York Times article could understand. None of us are coming to this going, I would like to generate slop. I would like to read slop. I would like to publish slop.
No, I don't, because I mean, yeah, it's a new pen name, but I'm still putting myself out there with that pen name. And I expect it to do well. I don't expect it to just, you know, throw books on there and then walk off to the next one. There's something that I want to build.
I also just don't want to read bad books. I've got to read this stuff.
That's true. That too.
I don't want to spend my time reading bad books. It's still running. We are on section 12 right now. So it's going through all the structures and stuff like that. And I think that this is, and then I'll download the worksheet and I will check section 17 and then I will download the worksheet, put it in the notes, and then we will go ahead and let this run the first chapter. And I'm really excited for this. This is going to be so much fun. So while this is running it, this is the time that you want to go get a drink, get a snack, or use the restroom. It's a great time. It's 11 o'clock. I think, is everyone's okay? I'm going to play a song real fast. I'm going to get a quick little break and then we will be right back after the song. Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
I mean, we have been here for 2 hours, so got to get up. All right, media. I'll let the vote happen in the comments. Do we want grifter, or do we want your book was never rejected, you never finished it? Actually, I think we're going to do Staying on Venus. How about that? Staying on Venus. All right, so we'll be right back after this song.
It's 3 a.m., I'm staring at a screen. Papers is deep, don't know what's real. They say I'm reckless, say I'm obscene, like I didn't play to earn this skill. They love the tools until I win, then it's human made again. Same damn engine under skin, different rules when I'm in. They show up late to the fire I lit, talk like prophets, learn one trick. Rent my future, call it theirs, then clutch pearls when I don't play fair. I am tired, I am loud, I am done asking to be allowed. You can keep your marble halls, I won't crawl back when the ceiling falls. I'm not giving up, I'm not coming home. You can keep your sky stone, you can have everything, think you can lies. I'm staying on Venus, I'm staying on Venus. They wear the badge, they take the stage, call themselves the chosen class. Talk about art like it's a cage built to keep the future out. What they say assist, they say generate, like the math game said damn about Gates. Same damn model, different fate, just depends who's holding the blade. Every night I think I'm wrong, then I make something they can't unsee. If this is madness, let it be. I'd rather burn than beg to be. I am tired, I am loud, I am done asking to be allowed. You can keep the marble halls, I won't crawl back when the ceiling falls. I'm not giving up, I'm not coming home. You can keep your sky of stone, you can have rooms, you can kick the lies. I'm staying on Venus, I'm staying on Venus. Call me reckless, call me lost, every future has a cost. You cling to maps that fade to dust. I build and fight, I build and trust. I'm done apologizing for seeing what you can't. I don't need your permission to be more than what I was. I am here, I am still, every doubt just fuels my will. You can draw your shrinking lines, I will cross them every time. I'm not giving up, I'm not coming home. You can keep the sky stone. This is a war for what comes next, and I choose the alien horizon. You can keep the lies. I'm staying on Venus, I'm staying on Venus.
That was like the perfect song. I was listening to it. I was pouring more coffee downstairs. I'm singing in the kitchen. My parents are like, hey! I'm like, oh yeah, forgot. Sorry. So big shout out to Dr. Bill for those lyrics. That was I made some tweaks to them, but that was the, when I did Meet Me on Venus, a lot of you guys did songs in response, which is so great. I love our community and what we've been doing with Suno. I have found Suno to be so helpful for just expression. It's like my therapy.
Suno's been a lot of fun. I've been having a blast with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love it.
So I got coffee and Hershey Kisses with almonds. The food of gods for when you are editing and writing, because you get the chocolate, but then you can justify the little bit of protein in the nut. Do you have a favorite snack for editing or coding, Danny Harper?
Mine's cheese curls.
I like peanut M&Ms.
And
I like those too, yeah.
I love peanut M&Ms, almond M&Ms.
Or that on
Okay.
a big peanut butter cup.
Mm-hmm. So we are almost there. We are at chapter 15 section. It just did that. Unfortunately, I can't look at the sections right now. However, I could look at the logs, but we're not going to do that right now. Instead, I'm going to What am I going to do? Elizabeth, I'm going to put my slippers back on because my feet are cold. That's number one. Okay, so we'll have to adjust the schedule a little bit. Oh, Bill says Snickers, today's breakfast. Thanks, Dr. Bill. Ink and Code. So we got Kimberly Gordon in the house. I will keep a track. I will make sure that we stop 1:45 so that everyone's got more of a chance to rest and relax and all of that. Plus, Kimberly's going to want the StreamYard. So, Kim, if you are available, if you want to come pop in a little bit and give us a sneak peek of what you've got at the top of the hour in Ink and Code, you are more than welcome to the stage. She's like, sounds good. Come invade. We could also all just move to the Ink and Code live too. That's pretty funny at noon. Sleep, rest, who needs that? Who needs that? Okay. Some exciting things. Something that you're going to see that you will not have when we run the chapters. I have a feature called the P-Batch. I'm able to tell it to go ahead and run multiple chapters at once. You do not have that because you're not an admin, but it's coming. So once we get past the tokens situation, we will be bringing that feature in for people with bring your own key and all of that, so you don't have to sit there and babysit it. And I also am talking more about having different sounds and stuff, like the ability to have different sounds when it's finishing little sections and things like that. So we'll be looking.
We need a warning caution
for the Rexy roar.
The bell will give you a heart attack.
The roar and the bell do, like, I'm like, oh, chapter's done, especially if I have it running and I'm doing other stuff and I'm like, oh, forgot that.
I forget it and then I'm on the ceiling.
Yeah. You're not going to forget it. You can turn the sounds off in your settings. So if you do not want sounds in your settings on, I'll show where that is inside of there, that you don't have to have that.
Personally, I love the roar. So.
Oh, I do too. I'm so nostalgic for it. But for those who don't want it to scare them. Okay. So I do know what one thing I will do. I'm checking the live here, making sure we're on the last section right now. So it's almost done with the worksheet. Once the worksheet's done, we're going to take a look at the logs and go ahead and calculate how much time we actually spent on the story last night and on the story today, so that we get a good, this is how much time we spent on this. So I will go ahead and be logging that. We'll do that while it's running chapter 1, actually. So once it starts running chapter 1, that's what I'll start working on doing. We have to capture what our experimentation was. Okay, let's go ahead and share. Back. We're sharing. So the continuity check, that last section, we've talked about this for a while. That last section is designed to tell you if there's any inconsistencies in your worksheet. Now, there's 2 ways to do this. You can look at that and you can go make those changes, or you can just leave it there and it will tell the AI, basically, these are the things that you need to override and make correct. So I now have the entire worksheet done. Those last sections, I did let them run. Now, you don't have to do that. There's lots of people who are not comfortable with that. I built this thing, so I'm comfortable with it. So the continuity check is where I just jump to, just to see what it says. So self-suppression and terror, we started at 2, we end up at a 9. We started at a 1, we end up at a 9. The relationship did not exist. It now exists at the end. External 3, we're going to end up at an 8. This is really cool too. This signals that there's still going to be consequences. Everything's not going to be wrapped up in a tiny little bow at the end of the story. Entrapment and generational roles, we're going to get to a 9. Hunger, etc. We already talked about these. It's checking to see if the outline managed to get it right. So we're going to go down here. I'm going to go to the bottom where it says the problems. It looks like it's all good. Character arcs progress logically. Carrie's internal access evolves from 2, 4, 6, 3, 9 through specific triggers. That's kind of what you would want to see a romance do, right?
Yeah, you want it to go up a little bit and then take a dip and then come back up.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And I'm okay with it getting to a 6 because they're on vacation. They just met. It's an insta love. She's not thinking that she's going to be with him forever in the middle of the story.
Right.
Okay. Plot consistency. They're at the correct locations. All entropy spikes are accounted for. No dangling plot threads. The story honors it. There is 4 explicit encounters, chapters 4, 5, 6, and 9. I may just add like I may just add like a bonus section, a bonus scene or whatever with another sex scene at the end for the happily ever after. Genre-specific structural requirements are met. Forced proximity. We love it. All tension axes reach their target end positions. They're respected. The 11 laws of narrative physics are honored. No coincidences drive the plot. Tiff's arrival. What are the 11 laws of narrative physics? Where the heck is that? Did it create that somewhere?
I've never seen that before.
I haven't either. Oh, I hear Kimberly. All right, we're going to go find that. What the heck are the 11 laws of narrative physics?
Your guess is as good as mine. Well, actually, your guess would probably be better than mine, but I don't know.
Okay, so here's how we're going to find this out. I'm going to save this. I'm going to add a section. See, y'all don't even know about this. I'm going to zoom this out a little bit. I'm going to add a section. I forgot how to add a section. Sections are added over here. No, they're not. Where do I add a section at? Can I just not? Okay, it's up at the top. I wouldn't have thought. I'm going to add a section. And I'm going to say, this is section _18_ laws of narrative physics. So I'm creating that section. So here's the thing. This model cited in section 17, the continuity check, that somewhere there are these 11 laws of narrative physics. I wanted to define those so I can make sure that I like that. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to say right here, what are the 11 laws of narrative physics?
Yes, do tell.
And I'm going to put that in a bracket. Because remember, everything in a bracket is there. I'm going to lock all the rest of the things here. I want an all lock and then unlock. But okay, so I've locked all my sections so it won't change those. And I'm going to magic wand this puppy to find out what the hell this model thinks are the 11 laws of narrative physics. Now, why am I doing that? Because if it's in my worksheet, it obviously has opinions about this. I need to know what the heck it thinks is the 11 laws and see if I agree with them or not.
When I Google it, it comes up with cartoon laws of physics.
Exactly. Go ahead.
Kimmy, right?
Yeah, this is Kimmy. Kimmy's like, there's 11 laws of narrative physics. I would like to know what they are.
Yeah, and see, I've not worked with Kimmy that much, just since I started testing YFD. So, well, I did test it twice with my NPE workflow because Kimmy's unmoderated and it's better at intimate scenes, shall we say.
And Jen actually found Kimmy too for me and said, hey, I like this.
Yeah,
and
she's to turn me onto it.
And before I selected it, before I agreed for it to be able to do all of this planning, I robustly checked it for what it knew about narrative physics and stuff like that in Open Router, and it really impressed me. And look at this. This is actually really pretty impressive. So I checked it, and let's see what it says. Let's see if we agree with them. Look at this. Law 1. Conservation of character. A character's operating system maintains steady state behavior unless acted upon by a threshold event of significant magnitude. Sudden violations of established decision heuristics, stress responses, or mask protocols require proportional pressure accumulation across multiple scenes. I agree.
I would too. Yeah.
Law 2. Emotional persistence. Emotional energy compounds rather than dissipating between scenes. Intimacy, tension, shame, and desire accumulate as narrative mass without reset, carrying forward to amplify subsequent interactions until discharge through transformation or collapse.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
All right. Cost of progress. Every advance toward the positive pole of attention access requires extraction of equivalent value from the character. Whether emotional armor, social standing, economic security, or familiar stability, creating steeper stakes as the axis ascends. Law 4. This is great.
It is.
I'm so proud of Kimmy.
I am too.
We love Kim's.
Plot motion, causality over coincidence. Plot motion derives exclusively from character vectors, desire, fear, obligation, trauma, interacting with entropy strikes and field effects. Random coincidence may not generate primary narrative momentum or resolve critical conflicts. Yes, please. Observational limits. Information transfer is restricted by point of view constraints. No character may access knowledge outside their immediate sensory field. Direct communication or logical inference from established evidence. Threshold mechanics. Tension axis shifts position only at designated narrative thresholds. Inciting irreversibility, midpoint polarity flip, dark moment collapse. Intermediate fluctuations must remain proportional to applied vector forces. So what that means right there, if you're like, that's a lot of mumbo jumbo, Elizabeth, I don't know what that means. It means your big moments, your big holy crap moments are only going to happen where it's prescribed, and all the in-between points, it has to be proportional. It can't, if chapter 8 is where they're supposed to like break up, if you have a little bit of wobbles before that, it has to be lower than that moment because it's only allowed to get that peak in chapter 8. We can't have the peaks other times. All right. Narrative. I'm keeping all of this.
Can you put that in the notes? That's good.
I'm putting it in the notes.
Good.
That's good. Good stuff.
Now, these are not set in stone. This is just for this thing. If I ask this again, it might come up with different laws, but similar laws. So it does understand the components of narrative physics. So
I don't with GMC and all the other stuff we've been using. It's great.
Yeah, fantastic. Love it. Save it. Export it. This is final worksheet. Cursed castles and Irish cream. Download. And then it's going to go there, and then it's going to go there. All right, so we're going to save that, and we're going to go back to the project. I'll put that on your notes in just a second. Oh, one thing. Yeah, that's fine. It can stay in there. All right, we're ready to start generating by chapter. And then while that's generating by chapter, we will be getting logs of everything so that we can start documenting this. And then we'll be able to start reading chapters until we have to switch over to we'll probably be able to read chapter 1. Your sound settings, if you have them on, it will play a bell when a chapter finishes. It will roar when the book is done. So that is something to note. So generate by chapter. If I already had a chapter 1, you can click bypass flow, generate that chapter, and then paste it in, and then go to the raw edit and click save, and it'll raw edit, replace it, click save, and it'll generate the summary. You can bring chapters in. We're going to talk about that feature later on in the week. I'm not going to use it right now. So we're just going to go ahead and generate that first chapter. And it's generating chapter 1. I can go away from this. It's fine. So it's going to do sequence 1 of 5. Chapter 1 doesn't have the repetition check because there's no chapters to look at it for repetition. So it's the fastest one that it'll run. And hey, Kim, how have you been?
I'm great. It's been a crazy week, but it's been a good one. How are you?
Yep. Pretty good. What is the Ink and Code topic today?
We are doing our monthly accountability. We
fun.
do this at the end of every month, and we talk about, okay, what are our wins? What are the things we got done? What are the things we didn't get done? What were the bottlenecks, and how do we automate them? How do we solve those problems? So that's what we're looking at. We're celebrating and we're troubleshooting.
Got it. So last night we started at 9:42 p.m. This is why I love the logs. These are the logs. This Kimmy 2.5. This is all of the you get the prompt, you get the response text. This is where it was running the worksheet last night. So we worked last night from 9:42 until I'm looking for the PMs, the end of the PMs, to 10:30. So I'm going to say 1 hour. Is everybody cool with that for rounding that to 1 hour for last night?
That sounds good.
Okay, so I'm going to put the logs so far, time. So I'm going to put February 27th. We did 1 hour on the worksheet. That was 9:42 p.m. to 10:22 p.m. Okay, actually that's 45 minutes now that I look at that. So we're going to, we'll just say an hour because we did review it. So we'll leave that there. And then February 28th, we got started when it starts running it because I just had to review things. So again, I can look at these logs, your first draft. And here we started at 9:58 a.m. and we just finished the worksheet at 11:19. So 9:58. I think we can say 10 a.m. 10 a.m. to 11:20. So an hour and a half. I'll go with an hour and a half. Why am I expanding it? Because it's close, 1.5 hours on the worksheet. 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. So that's not bad. I have always said that you should be spending between 1 to 3 hours on the worksheet. We spent 2.5 hours on the worksheet. That's pretty decent, I think, amount of time for planning. What do you guys think?
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
That's about what I would spend. Sometimes I'll spend longer, sometimes it's shorter. It just depends on if I'm working on a novella versus a full-length book. But average, an hour and a half to 2 hours is right in that sweet spot.
Yep. So I'm going to go to the generate by chapter, make sure it's still running. It's still doing sequence 1 of 5. So remember, we have that in your notes. The first sequence is it's gathering all the information to make a chapter plan. So it's making a chapter plan for chapter 1. And then it will make a draft of that chapter. And because it's the first chapter, it's not going to check for repetition because there's no chapters to check against. So it's just going to check for consistency to the writing rules, and then also for craft improvement, and then it'll do a final, and then it'll do a summary. So, Kim, have you played with YFD, or you just been in anti-gravity land?
I have been in anti-gravity and Claude skill land. I published 2 books this week. So
congratulations.
Thank you. It was very exciting. It was stuff that I did in November and December, part of my backlog. And this is part of proof of work, is that yes, you can create that fast and you can publish it. It is publishable. So now I have 2 of the series that I did at the end of last year are up. The first books are up. They're live, and the pre-orders for the rest of them are up. And all the covers are done. So it was a busy week.
That's the best. I like the accountability.
Yeah. So I figure if I have to be accountable too. So this is it personally benefits me to do this once a month. It's like, hey, what did we do this month? What did we say we were going to do? And why didn't we get it? We say a lot of things and then we go chase shinies. Like, oh, we got to hold our feet to the fire.
Oh, we just finished the first thing. So sequence number 2. So I can come down here to my logs. And you'll see here Claude Sonnet 4.6. I forgot I was using Sonnet, not OpenAI. So here's the sonnet. The prompt is in there. We can actually review the text here to see what it was planning for chapter 1. So it's got the locked truths. It's got the open loops and promises. I'm coming down here to the scene 1. Oh my gosh. Scene 1 setting, a 1970s repurposed school bus on a 1-lane Boreen, County Clare, stuck behind a funeral procession.
I love it.
That's That's what I'm talking about. I want something different. Airports are boring. Do not put her on a plane.
Definitely different.
Yeah, I like that.
Yes. Carrie, Brenda, Rob, Tiff, Maeve, front of bus in charge. 4 to 5 unnamed tour group members. Declan boards mid-journey at crossroads. Establish the tour group's dynamics as an ordeal. Introduce the surveillance field through Tiff's behavior. Place Declan in Carrie's personal physical orbit. So she's wedged between Brenda, lavender essential oil spray deployed directly at Carrie's neck without asking. This is what I'm talking about. Smells happen to characters. And a window stuck at 45 degrees. Pins lost 3. Approximate time before full collapse, 40 minutes. Social obligations owed to Brenda, 0, but performed as 2. She tries to live stream through the windshield. Maeve confiscates the phone. The bus halts completely. Funeral cortege ahead, moving at the speed of grief on a road with no passing room. That time is a local concept. 3 group members laugh. Carrie does not laugh. She pulls the 4th pin from her chignon and accepts the loss. Declan prearranged his name on the manifest. He arrives carrying a duffel bag and a tripod case that he swings into the aisle without checking clearance. The bag tags a woman named Patricia on the elbow. He apologizes. He moves down the aisle. He performs group injured. Who's excited about Irish castles? So here we go. Carrie's silk blouse achieving a translucency from diesel absorption that she would describe to no one ever. Cataloging instead the number of pins remaining in her chignon. 4, down from 7 at Shannon. Okay, so we're good here. And the internal axis is moving from 2 to 2.3. And then scene 2, they're in the medieval tower house. It did have Jack the ticket station. I did have that, like, hey, here's an example. Jack can be at the ticket station. Don't use him again. He can't be at every castle. Then we're going to get the castle chapel. And so the end of it, all the befores, forbidden actions. Do not use the phrase sparks flew or any variation. Sparks, electricity, chemistry, and narration. Do not allow Carrie to find Declan attractive in any form she acknowledges. The misread is contempt, irritation. The attraction is not yet conscious. Do not have Carrie smile genuinely at anything in chapter 1. She may perform the social approximation of a smile, but no warm flange yet. Do not use the words connection, pull, drawn to, destined, or something about him. Why is this happening? Because we said no purple prose. Do not resolve the bell tower scene. It ends on discomfort and open current. Do not on a beat that makes either character feel settled. And then recurring AI writing patterns to watch for given this genre. The witty comeback that breaks the ice trap. Their exchange must not end in mutual laughter. Excessive interiority about family backstory. No, not explained in chapter 1. Over-describing Declan's physical appearance. The tell, don't show trap for a reasonable one burden. Show it through the inventory of remaining bobby pins. County Clare in chapter 1 is diesel, damp limestone, and a window that won't close. The picturesque can wait. Using the bell tower scene to generate sexual tension that reads as heat. It should generate unease, not warmth. The reader should feel the close quarters as claustrophobic before it becomes anything else. I like this plan. Anyone else?
It looks good.
Yeah, this is...
Yeah,
It
definitely.
does. I'm impressed.
I'm so proud of it. Okay, so then the next one is it did a draft. So we can see the draft. We won't look at all of it, but we will look at the beginnings of it. By the time the bus stopped moving for the 3rd time in 11 minutes, I had lost 4 of the 7 pins holding my chignon together and gained an intimate familiarity with the lavender essential oil preferences of a woman named Brenda from Sarasota, Florida. That's too long.
It's funny, though.
It's funny. It's therapeutic grade, Brenda said, directing the small amber bottle at my neck area with the precision of someone who had never once considered that strangers might not want to be misted. I travel with 6 of them, something for every situation. I looked out the window.
I like that.
We were behind a funeral procession on a road so narrow I could have touched the stone wall on either side by reaching through both windows simultaneously, if the window on my side would open more than 45 degrees, which it would not. Lovely, I said. Brenda's husband, Rob, was in the seat across the aisle, already filming the cortege on his phone despite having surrendered it into the biscuit tin not 10 minutes ago. This meant he had a second phone. 2 phones, a Florida flag phone case on the one he'd handed over, an expression of mild bewilderment at the Irish countryside that suggested he expected something more actively picturesque. I did the math on remaining pins. 40 minutes approximately before the chignon conceded entirely to the air, which was not so much humid as simply wet. A distinction without a difference for silk charmeuse and barrel roll volume. I hope that the editing pass will clean that up.
It's a lot
but
of
we'll
detail.
see. Yeah.
It's too much. It's distracting.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm finding the editing passes are doing an amazing job. So, yeah.
I do like that it got here 3 pins. The man who boarded at the crossroads had a duffel bag on one shoulder, tripod case on the other, and no particular awareness that the combination constituted. Yeah, this is just too long. I unclicked my seatbelt, leaned into the aisle to retrieve it. So she had a compact. It's a little bit, what's the word? It's choppy.
Yeah. And then that's fixed with the editing passes.
I hope
clay.
so. I hope so.
It's clay. It needs to be shaped.
Yeah. But so I can see this after chapter 1. I could also go change my worksheet after I fix this and say, this should not be choppy. It should
need to be connected with a natural.
They need to be connected. Yeah. So we've seen not a bad first draft here, but we'll see what it comes up with the final. I'm keeping an eye on the time. Are you okay, Kim? How much time do you need to be able to get into your StreamYard? It's 11:37.
If I get in 10 minutes before, I should be fine.
Okay. I think it'll be done writing the chapter by then. We are, because it's not going to do as many passes. So it's already done. Okay, so here's the first editing pass that it said. Let's see what it says. Response text. Oh, violation. Violation. Violation.
Waiting for a big siren.
You're violating.
Claude was a bad boy.
It was a bad boy.
Demolition Man with the tickets. You are in violation of the whatever code. Spits out the tickets. Have you seen Demolition Man?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Violation. 7 as like someone who comparative constructions appear within a single chapter. Even if each instance is individually mild, the aggregate frequency directly violates the sparing standard and contradicts Carrie's established voices allergic to figurative language.
Well, that's good. It caught it.
So it understands how to fix it. And it said the logic of each comparison should be extracted into a flat declarative sentence that shows the same information without the simile structure. With the precision of someone who had never once considered, rewrite as literal action. She directed the small amber bottle at my neck without warning, without asking, with no apparent awareness that this required either. That's much stronger. I can understand that, you know? Let the action
place on the page.
Yes. Apology calibrated. The apology arrives pre-calibrated. Hand on arm, eye contact. Yes, this is how I would edit this. The control of someone for whom this was easy. Remove the frame. He descended from the handstand cleanly, elbows locked the whole way down. This is what takes it from that first level to the next level. Okay, violation 2. Outside the slit window somewhere below and to the west, the Atlantic was doing something, not crashing. The word for it was breathing. A sound. Oh, God, no, that's not Carrie.
Yeah, not X, but Y. Man, it loves that one. It loves
that. The Atlantic
something.
breathing is a non-ironic metaphor. Must fix. Rewrite. Okay. This registered on his face, I learned later at the time I was reading a phone through the glass. POV rules.
We didn't learn later.
No omniscient information leaks. You got to fix it. Outside, the Atlantic continued its long, patient work of being there. Last line of the chapter.
No.
Every chapter of the narrative hook.
We don't care about its long, patient work of being there. It's just there.
Okay. Chapter word count is approximately 4,000 and it needs to be more. It runs it too short. This is a structural underage, not a pro style issue, but it is specified within pacing guidelines. The chapter contains 3 discernible, do not add new scenes, stay within the chat. Instead, expand existing scenes by deepening the sensory textures Okay. Expanding it. Exactly. Giving the tower house. So yeah. So it's got the summary. So it did well for those editing passes. And then let's see, this one is the editing pass. This one is going to be the editing pass for craft. This is just a generic craft one. So this is just the craft. And it's picking up the same issues. And that's good. That helps to reinforce that it's going to fix it. It's too serene. You smell like old money and fear should fix. Okay, so let's see what, I'm really excited to see what final chapter we get, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Drum roll.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and so the time, 11:29 was when this ended. I don't know when I clicked the button, probably around that time. To 11:37. So it does take about 10 to 15 minutes for the whole process to run. So we'll go over here by generate by chapter so we can watch it. 5 of 5, it's going to pop up as soon as it's done, and it'll ding. It'll go ding. Hopefully you guys will hear it if it shares the sound. The ocean wants to be seen and heard too. It can go sit in the corner with the panopticon.
What I love is that the more the editing passes in this patches, the less I have to edit on the back end.
Yeah. And listen, you can use anti-gravity to build your own. I've given you guys a starting off point. I had to keep this as agnostic as I could. Okay.
Yeah.
You could have more editing passes or deeper editing passes with your own book machines. I just had to make this that it would work for everybody.
I had an M- pass that it took 1,000 M-dashes out of a manuscript. I was like, I didn't even know there was 1,000 in there.
Yeah.
It's amazing what you can do with these things. And if you break them down into smaller editing passes, it does a better job.
Yes.
It does. Yeah.
Multiple small editing passes do better.
Just to demonstrate that with what this is teaching, repetition is first. Then it is the how well does it follow the rules, and then it's just general craft improvement. But you could absolutely have deeper changes and stuff like that if you wanted to. Okay, yeah, it's on the summary now.
Yeah, one of the first editing passes I run because AI loves to fixate on a word. Mm-hmm. So that's the first thing I have it look for. Look for words that it used too much. Evaluate if that word actually needs to be there or if there's a better word to use in its place.
Right.
Because you'll get, some.
Did you guys hear it? Did you hear the ding?
Yeah, I heard the beep.
Yeah,
I had a SED pass where it just took out a ton of SEDs. Oh my gosh, there were so many.
Mm-hmm. So we have 4,000 words, so it's on the shorter side of things, but I will work with it. Chapter 1, the biscuit tin confiscation. By the time the bus stopped moving for the third time in 11 minutes, I had lost 4 of the 7 pins holding my chignon together and gained an intimate familiarity with the lavender essential oil preferences of a woman named Brenda from Sarasota, Florida.
That is much better.
It's therapeutic grade, Brenda said, directing the small amber bottle at my neck without warning, without asking, with no apparent awareness that this required either. I travel with 6 of them, something for every situation. I looked out the window. We were behind a funeral procession on a road so narrow, I could have touched the stone wall on either side by reaching through both windows simultaneously, if the window on my side would open more than 45 degrees, which it would not. Lovely, I said. Brenda's husband, Rob, was in the seat across the aisle, already filming the cortege on his phone, despite having surrendered it into the biscuit tin not 10 minutes ago. This meant he had a second phone. 2 phones. A Florida flag phone case on the one he handed over, and an expression of mild bewilderment at the Irish countryside. Yeah, that still feels a little bit too long. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this whole thing real fast. This will be, I'm watching the time. Don't worry. I'm going to grab this and watch this. I'm going to just go over to Claude. So share this instead. We're going to do a new chat. And I'm going to say, boop. I'm going to put that chapter in, and I'm going to say, rewrite this chapter so it's longer with more character interactions and dialogue, and shorten the longer sentences that Carrie seems to keep writing. Here is also the worksheet of information about the story. chapter 1 should be 5,000 to 6,000 words. Expand by having more character interaction and comic relief moments.
I
And so
found
I'm also-
using a skill for dev edits in
Yeah.
Claude Opus 4.6 really, really helps. You can customize it to your series.
Yep. And this I'm just going to show. It's going to do all of this, and then I will paste it in. And I'm watching the time. Like, we're on a time thing. So
You're squeezing everything in.
Yeah, and honestly, chapter 1's important. It's going to set the tone for everything. I'm writing an entire novel in just 10 swipes of the AI, so it really does need to write 5,000 to 6,000 words per chapter.
Yeah, and chapter 1 is where I'll spend the most time before I just let it go. If I weren't doing it chapter by chapter, I mean, when we could just run it, I would still spend a good 20 minutes on chapter 1, just doing different passes with the AI and then putting it back in, because you get the voice and you want to make sure the dialogue is the way you want it, because that's going to influence the rest of the book.
It informs so much.
It does.
Yeah. I also need to make a note to myself to change the worksheet. Sorry, Dasha needs to go out. To change the worksheet because it consistently wrote those really long sentences. I think it was interpreting the Ivy League thing a little bit too. I think that was influenced by that because those sentences are really long. They're too long.
They are.
Danica says this is helpful to see multiple passes for different things isolated. Yeah, absolutely. Come on, Claude. You got 3 minutes. We got it. Well, maybe.
No, it's still working.
It's still working.
He breaks things down into tasks now. He's more
I know, and I'm using Opus.
I love Opus. Opus 4.6 is amazing.
I guess the problem is Opus has a tendency to kill a fly with a hammer, and a fly would have just been fine.
But he had a good time in my my ancient Gorgon thing I did. He had fun.
Yeah. He will assign himself 30 tasks to do something that I could have done in 5.
Or 1.
Or 1. Like, don't be afraid of the one shot. The one shot is your friend. All right, you got 2 minutes. But that's fine because this is a good place for us to pick up tomorrow. I'm live tomorrow at 3 p.m. And I will go ahead and let it run the chapters and you guys will be able to read them. And then Sunday, we'll start reading and tracking how many changes I make. So that'll be fun. Hopefully people find, huh?
That sounds good.
Mm-hmm. I've got a life. Okay, 1 minute. Come on, Claude. Come on, Claude.
Yeah, like
it's reading the chapter outline. Oh, I made a mistake.
Cue the Jeopardy music.
Yeah. It'll be fine. It can run. Oh. Chapter 1 scene. No. Okay. It's not even writing yet.
He's thinking.
Well, he needs to think faster.
He's doing the stuffy stuff. Then boom,
the stuffy yeah, he's doing the stuffy stuff, but I need him to do the thingy things.
What's he saying now? Done. What did he say there?
Yeah, done.
What?
Done with reading. Oh,
no! He lied. Let me read the skill for creating a docx since this will be a long document. Oh, Lord. I will create this docx file. Let me write the expanded chapter now.
Docx. Why do we need docx?
Why do we need docx?
He does that lately. I'm like, no, I don't work in docx. I work in Markdown.
I work in Markdown. I gave you Markdown.
Yeah, you got to specify that. Yeah. Otherwise, we'll just pick.
Oh, I wonder if
it's
we
fine.
can do that with system instructions, our custom system instructions. Just say, never give me a docx ever, unless I beg for one.
Yeah, he loves. Blaukstrop says he loves his DocX files. So there obviously is not going to be an after party for this one, but the after party is the Ink and Code, which will be live at noon. It might be a few minutes delayed because you're here with me.
Yes, and I gotta go set that. Well, it's set up. I need to go in there and make sure.
Oh, I think you can go in there while I'm in this one. I'm not sure.
All right.
You may just not be able to go live. I will make sure that I end this live. We probably won't have a song at the end, so I will end this live with 5 minutes to go, and then you can be live at noon.
All right. Well, I will see you all in 10 minutes.
Given the length of this document, I need a Starbucks run first. Who's joining you on the Ink and Code today?
Cassie and Carlo.
Oh, fantastic. All right, we'll see you guys in 10 minutes.
In there, so I will go. Have a good time. Yep. See you later.
Thank you. Talk about deadline and the buzzer. Bloodset says, can confirm you can be in different studios at the same time. Yeah, I don't think you... I wonder if we can go live at the same time, if we can have simultaneous lives going. That would be funny. We'll test that one day.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, I have no idea.
The expanded chapter. Come on, Claude. Come on. You've got a few more minutes. Oh, it's writing it.
Yeah, like while I'm young, youngish.
Look at this. It's color coding the words. Why?
I guess it wants to show you where it changed things. I have no idea.
Possibly. You should call this wall fake. What the? You knew that wall was fake. No. That must be exhausting knowing what everything is made out of. I hate this already. Okay, I like this. Yes, I am reading this as quickly as it's writing it. Well, not quite. I'm skimming it. Fine. Assign the chapel, the film he cannot. You may. A final pair. The staircase was barely wide enough for single file. Clean, well-made. Providence, 3 months. I had not anticipated. It's going to have to edit this. Ugh, I hate this. I knew all about this rings.
I haven't worked with the latest models of Claude that much.
I want to stab it.
I've been on a Gemini kick. So, yeah, it'll be interesting when I read the YFD book that I ran with Claude. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. I do find that editing Claude, when I did work with the previous model, editing Claude in a different model tended to work better. Because then when you put it back in, Claude will see the edits and it mimics it better. But I don't know why Claude can't edit himself very well.
I don't know. But unfortunately, we are out of time. So sorry to end on a cliffhanger. Ha 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 ha. But this is probably better because that means that we're going to start off tomorrow with figuring our lives out with chapter 1, and then there should still be enough time for us tomorrow to run all 10 chapters and going through them. Because again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 times 20 minutes is 200. Like 10 times 15 minutes is 150 minutes. That's 2.5 hours. We should be able to get through it tomorrow, Sunday, which will be great because I will be waiting with bated breath for the special person who's on their way to me. It'll give me time to kill before I have to go pick them up. So, yay!
Yeah.
All right.
But this also shows people that we still have to do a lot of work, even though a lot of these systems are automated now. We still have to put ourselves in there.
Yes. And I also was not in the right framework too, which I'm going to have to switch my mind for Sunday. I was not in the right framework of mind of like, I'm just going to read this. Like I didn't write it and see if I can keep reading or what makes me stop.
Yeah.
So that's the litmus test. All right, everyone. I will see you guys tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. But please stick around. Go take your breaks. Go get your food, etc. Because Kim is on live in 5 minutes, and I know that she would love your support and its accountability. And I will see you guys soon. The best. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Harper, and thank you, Stacy, for joining me today, and Kim, of course. So I love our little community. And you guys have fun and take care. Okay.